AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J. R&R in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
It is a World Series kind of a morning.
Sure is.
Astros begin anew. See if they can create a dynasty, the most hated dynasty since the last dynasty.
Great point. Every dynasty is hated. If it's not a real dynasty.
And they're giving it some reason.
Of course.
But do you think they're going to ride that wave? Do you think they're going to play the heel, the Raider on this?
Absolutely.
Or should they?
Yes.
I think so too.
Because right now they're still being called, heck, who was it? The White Sox were still saying it.
So,
of course. I mean, what La Russa just said there, they have low character. So, of course, they're riding that wave. I would.
Well, Rudy and I'll give you some firsthand experience. We're going.
Which is insane.
Yeah, bucket list kind of thing.
Definitely bucket list. I've only been to Minute Maid once, and that was in the late 90s. And it was against the Dodgers. Gary Sheffield went yard, and it wasn't the World Series.
It's a bit different.
It wasn't the World Series.
So we're going to strike out and be back here to do the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
Wish us luck. I'm sure we'll document it on the way. So make sure you're following the socials as we
body clock may be off a little bit the rest of the week, but we'll get through it.
And I already know this is just going to ruin me for the week.
Yeah, that's a wrap.
It's just going to ruin me. So I'll be with you guys in spirit, if not in body.
Yeah.
But yeah, Rudy and I are headed. Spurs at home tonight. Bring the Lakers into town. LeBron is under 24-hour therapeutic.
Does he want to play against Pop that bad? Is he like, hey, man, I don't know when Pop's going to retire. I don't know when I'm going to retire. Let me get all my games in I can against the Spurs. But also, he knows it's a road game. He knows his Laker fans here have bought tickets in advance. You know, it's a part of being a pro is making sure you show up on the road.
There's a reason why you're adored is people get to see you play. He's always been pretty good about it. So their expectation is, though I, take the night off, LeBron.
Yeah.
Come on, rest up. It's a long season.
You'll be all right, man.
You'll come back. We'll see you again.
The Spurs-LeBron rivalry is a very special one because you might actually be able to have an argument that it's even or the Spurs have the edge.
Well, they're what? Tim
Spurs are 2-1 in the finals.
Tim beat them 2-1. Manu beat them 2-1. Tony beat them 2-1. Yeah.
No, we got the edge. I don't know about the regular season.
Oh, who cares?
But yeah, scoreboard.
There was that game where Kyrie went off for the most
points
scored
60?
against the top team until I think he had like 57 until James Harden eventually got 60 on the Spurs.
When did Harden win for 60 on us?
I want to say that's correct.
You're probably right. You know more than me.
I blocked it out. I don't recall that.
Only thing I remember about James Harden is Manu's block. That's the only thing.
That's exactly
that. And I remember no Tony Parker, no Kawhi Leonard, and just Simmons and a bunch of other guys beat them by 40 in a closeout. That one right there for me put Harden in a bad light for me because no Tony, no Kawhi in a closeout. And you get beat by 40.
But that was after Manu stole his soul on that block.
Yeah, but you can't lose. You can't lose by 40.
That's how
at the crib in a closeout.
So for Spurs fans, whenever we try to figure out what is it about Harden that I don't like, it's that.
Yeah,
it's that.
Right.
It's not the game.
Got game.
It's everything else.
And then you was throwing ones a little bit later and made all of Houston very angry. And that's why there's no one at the Rockets games. There's no one at the Texans games. They will all be at Minute Maid.
With us.
With Rob and I. Like, we're sorry, Rockets. We're gonna celebrate the Astros for a month. We'll get to y'all in December. We'll go check out Jalen Green in December.
At 8:30, we're going to dive deeply into the Spurs. It'll be time for shoot around. We'll learn about our enemy. We'll talk about who's injured. Do all things required to prepare yourself for a nice game tonight. This is one of those that should have been nationally televised.
It's not. I'm shocked.
It's not.
They didn't get that many. They got 5.
Right. And if you
only one's ESPN, they're all NBA TV otherwise.
And this one wasn't going to be a crapshoot anyway. And it really wouldn't matter. Records, I mean, we've only got a couple under the belt. So it wouldn't look bad in the preview. Spurs Lakers. This is still early. Now maybe later in the season when the Spurs and Lakers are separated by a bunch of games, it might not.
Right.
The What do you think of Jameis Winston after last night?
The same thing I thought before. I think he's a guy that, he can play. And I think under Sean Payton, I mean, remember Drew Brees' last 4 or 5 years, Sean Payton, they killed teams with 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards. And James is doing the same thing. Sean Payton, and he said it last night, what Sean has taught me to not do too much. Because he threw for 5,000 as a buck, right? But he had 30-something interceptions. So, and their defense has picked up. So I think Jameis has become what he is. He's really going to be a really good game manager that can unleash the deep ball here and there and catch it. And keep in mind, he doesn't have Michael Thomas.
No.
He doesn't have Michael Thomas. So Michael Thomas gets back. Who knows? Considering their defense is caught up to their offense, I think they could be a playoff team.
Could any quarterback be successful in that system? Does it have to be Jameis? What if you had Kirk Cousins? Or what if you had Joe Flacco? I mean,
Taysom Hill's successful in that. Taysom Hill's like 4-1.
Yeah, he was 3-1 last year.
Yeah, so Sean Payton needs to bring in Matt Nagy and teach him about putting your guys in position to win. Like knowing what you do well and making sure that you're going to be successful. So I'm not going to say any quarterback, but if you're decent, if you can play, Sean Payton can win games with you.
He averaged 3.6 air yards per completion Monday.
Well, it was raining too, so
no, I'm not taking. I thought what he did last night was a $15 million a year quarterback.
Yes.
That guy. What he did last night is a quarterback that could take you anywhere if there were pieces around him, as long as he didn't make a mistake. And see, he's more than just a game manager.
Yes, he is.
He is. He's more than that.
Right.
But Peyton's teaching him to be a game manager.
Mm-hmm.
Just if they're going to give you Kamara 2 yards down, throw it to Kamara all freaking day, dude.
He's a weapon.
Why would you not do this? And that's something Jameis wouldn't do in Tampa.
No,
I mean,
he wouldn't.
We're winging it to the deep.
He was trying to throw it to Mike Evans for 60 yards every play.
Go deep. I'll throw it high. One of them, somebody going to catch it.
Eventually, you're going to connect. And trying to throw it in the tight window, like 30-something picks is insane.
That's just stupid.
That's it.
And you know what? That's on Arians, though. That's on the coach. At some point, you just got to go, dude, sit out. That's enough. But if you keep letting them go out there,
like, I must not be doing anything wrong. I'm keeping my job. I mean, once you get to 20 picks and the coach still says it's your gig, you just keep throwing them. It's like if you let your kid write with crayons on the wall and nothing happens to them for that, they're like, oh, this is my canvas. You can't just let things that are wrong keep going wrong. Oh, I forgot to change my name. Who are you? It cut it off. Darius Who are you today, Rob?
It is in Latin. It is the term for work hard and play harder.
And that is the definition of what we're doing today. Is that why you did that?
Yes. And I looked it up and I can't find it anymore. I don't know. It's like Liberaire.
Yes, that's what it looks like. Yeah. Anywho. Yeah, but Jameis, they got to win. I think they're 4-2 now.
They are. I don't think anybody's afraid of the Saints, but I certainly wouldn't want to. If I was trying to get into the playoffs late in the season, if I was a first round, they come into the house, Sean Payton will beat you if you're not ready. But
yeah,
they're not a great team. But when Jameis does that,
they're going to be fighting for a wild card because they're not winning that division with the Bucs, but they'll be fighting for a wild card.
What style of football do you prefer? What you saw from Sean Payton, or on the other side of the coin, the Kyler Murray with the Cardinals? It's two very different attacks.
Yeah, no, it's way different.
Which do you prefer watching, and which do you feel safer with in the playoffs?
I prefer what Kingsbury and those guys are doing, especially when you have a defense that can pick you up if you make a mistake. If you have a defense that can help get the ball back for you, I'm all for it. But then again, I mean, you can't go wrong with 5-yard outs to Kamara.
All day.
He had like 140 yards combined. Can't go wrong with that. Dude's a monster. That's a great check down option.
And for Jameis, I don't think it was a check down. It was the only down. Option.
I think that was the play. That's the first option. Kamara in the flat.
The game was dull. It was driving rain.
It was.
And Seattle, I don't know about. We're going to hear talk about going and getting Cam Newton. It's not about Cam Newton.
No. The problem with Seattle is, and Gino found out last night, like, oh, is this what you've been dealing with, Russ? Is this why you were complaining in offseason? No. how many sacks did the Saints have last night? It's insane. And that's what Russell was dealing with. And that's why Russell was complaining in the offseason. Like, look, he didn't say anything bad about his offensive line. He said the truth. Geno was running for his life last night. I don't care who you are. Even if you're Russell Wilson, you're going to struggle with that. It's not like Geno is just awful. He was running for his life. One guy had 5 sacks.
One
guy, 5 sacks. No. So, yes, that's why Russell Wilson may be asking out of Seattle again this offseason. Like, you know what? If y'all can't fix the line, y'all are going to end up cutting my career short.
And if I'm Cam Newton, do I want that mess?
That's not what you want to come back to. You're going to look bad.
You want a paycheck if you're Cam Newton.
Well, you're going to get me killed. You might want to go ahead and buy me some future health insurance.
Right.
Because he couldn't survive that. There's no way you could get through that.
No one.
Good college football matchups this weekend. We'll try to touch on it later in the show. Michigan State. That's a battle of 2 undefeateds. But really, the talk of college football, and we're going to dive into it in 15 minutes, is Jeff Traylor and the Texas Tech job. Yesterday, Jason Minix and the Blitz did a great job, had Coach Traylor on as news had broken again after R&R that Matt Wells had been officially released from the Red Raider land. And the top nominees, the top prospects include Jeff Traylor and Sonny Dykes up at SMU and an assistant over and somewhere in the SEC. Saw a Nevada coach floating around out there too. Former Tech quarterback Sonny Cumbie, I think, is in the mix. But obviously, Coach Traylor is in the lead there with his undefeated record and deep Texas high school football ties.
That's the key right there.
But we heard, and you'll hear in about 15 minutes from Coach Traylor yesterday. And I think while he didn't completely slam the door, I do think Tech UTSA types know where the game is. They know where they need to be. And it's going to require some money. But we'll hear from Coach Traylor. We'll talk about the potential of UTSA losing the coach that seems to be the future of the program. And
absolutely.
Can the school itself and the backers step in to ensure that Traylor's here for at least a bit? But before we get into that, let's talk headlines. Tuesdays are always for looking forward, but we'll look back last night and talk about everything that Karl has to offer. It's time for the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
Y'all mentioned Alvin Kamara. Well, I have some stats on him as he becomes the fastest player in NFL history to reach 3,000 career rushing yards and 3,000 career receiving yards in just his 66th game. The previous record was 70 games set by San Francisco 49ers running back Roger Craig for ESPN stats and information. He had 10 catches last night for 128 yards and 20 rushes for 51 yards in the win over the Seahawks.
Kamara is a monster. Again, keep in mind, he was at Alabama.
And he left.
Because it was like, I forget the log.
Was it Derek? Was it Henry?
I don't remember. It was a log jam.
It was
a log jam. So it's not like he just some guy that just came out of nowhere. He was recruited to Alabama. But as we saw last night, all else fails, give him the ball, especially in a downpouring rain when the ball's going to be slick coming out of your hand.
I think it's amazing that he broke Roger Craig's record because he is the modern day Roger Craig, Ricky Waters in that old school Bill Walsh West Coast, a 3-yard out is just like a run kind of offense. And that's what New Orleans is running. Now we're talking about a 30-year-old offense in Walsh in the West Coast as it used to be known, but the outcome's the same from Sean Payton. It is, if they're going to take away 10 yards and up, we'll consider the dump pass a running game, and we'll matriculate the ball down the field as we would with any stud back. And Ricky Waters and Roger Craig were the beneficiaries of that back then, and Kamara is the modern example of that. Yeah.
And because of Drew Brees' arm strength declining over the years, Sean had to change his stripes.
Yeah.
And he did it. Like, the great coaches can win in different eras. Like we talk about Pop won in the slow down era, he won in the up tempo small ball era. So you got to be able to do that when you're like a guy like Sean Payton. But the reason it's crazy is because we got guys like Marshall Faulk. We had guys like Priest Holmes. It's crazy that it's all the way up to this point, like Kamara breaking Roger Craig's record, when you think about some of the backs that we've had come through the NFL.
Yeah, Holmes and Falk also, you're right, fall right into that system.
Same way.
Total yards, not just rush yards.
Exactly.
That's the reason PPR was invented for fantasy football, for the likes of those guys that you couldn't account for the yards.
Yep.
Moving on.
Headline 1.
Here's to checking up on your exes. The Chicago Bulls are 4-0. The first time they have started 4-0 since a guy named Michael Jordan played for them 25 years ago. DeMar DeRozan is second on the squad in scoring with 22.5 points per game through the first 4 games. Zach LaVine leads the team at 25.5. Obviously, those aren't going to keep up, but that's a dynamic scoring backcourt.
Fun to watch. I don't know I don't know how far they're going to go, what they're going to accomplish. But, like, that's one of the teams, outside, of course, watching the Spurs for work. That's one of those teams that they're on TV, I'm watching. They're fun to watch. I mean, Caruso has added a different dynamic to them. The Lakers are going to miss him. Lonzo Ball has seemed to come into his own. That's a fun team to watch. And they were fun in preseason, so I'm not shocked that they've started off 4-0. And DeMar's a bucket. He's a bucket. He's not, he's not Steph Curry. He's not Dame Lillard. He's not going to pull up from 35 feet, but he's a walking bucket. Like, that's a brand new team, and he walks in. It's only 4 games, but he walks in and he's averaging 20.
Mm-hmm. Did you see?
Like, 20-point guys aren't just you don't just grab them off of trees.
They're going to be everybody's Sancho this year,
right?
They're just fun to watch,
right? Especially like the diehard Michael Jordan fans. Yeah. Like, I haven't watched or rooted for the Bulls in a while. I think I can watch. Derrick Rose went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Derrick Rose was exciting before the injuries, but this is they finally put it all together, and we'll see how Billy Donovan handles it.
He's a front-running coach. He coaches great talent. He understands how to get talent motivated to play. Some coaches aren't very good at that. He is. They're going to be solid all season. Depth will be an issue for them, but
I think so.
They're really good.
And they still got the kid from Carolina, Kobe White.
Yeah.
Kobe White. Patrick Williams is the guy whose development probably gets hurt here, but he'll kind of be a combo forward defensive player. And I like Patrick Williams too. They have a really good squad in Chicago.
I like me some Caruso too.
That's the unsung. That's the unsung get.
And everybody likes the dunks and everything, but if you watch him, he defends decently. He defends decent.
He might be the best ball hawk I have ever seen in my life, because obviously he can't do what he did at Texas A&M and in the G League in the NBA, but he's Texas A&M's all-time leader in steals. And when he was in Chicago, when he was with the South Bay Lakers, I got to see him play a few games, and he could get steals at will. It was insane.
Yeah.
Coach is good, man.
Oh, easy? Yeah. His pops will come. I didn't know that.
Moving on.
Headline 0.
What's your saying, Rob? Deadlines make deals?
Deadlines make deals.
Sources say that Deshaun Watson is open to trade destinations beside Miami as the Carolina Panthers emerge as an option.
What do you think, Rob?
First of all, this didn't just pop up because Darnold had a bad game.
No.
I do think that Carolina's probably been working behind the scenes for a long time. Matt Rule, he'd been around. He knows what his offense would look like with a Deshaun Watson running it. I think that the good news is Miami, I believe, had made a good offer, but wasn't going to do anything else because they felt like they were the only ones offering. They were going to bid against themselves. Why raise the bid if I'm the only one bidding? Mm-hmm. So if Carolina has now made it very obvious that they're out there, and I do believe Washington is in the mix as well.
I would think
and
so.
I would like to think Denver is kind of maybe picking up the phone too. The deadline is looming, and now it's time for the Godfather deal. Now, if you want him, Houston said, make your offer. And you've got what, till Tuesday?
Yes.
I think more players makes it more likely because I think Miami was kind of frozen. I think they had told the Texans what they had. Why go back and offer more? Because nobody else is giving you an offer. And if you're going to move them, you're going to move them. Now Carolina in the mix. Everybody going to step up with the last and final.
Philly, too.
No, he's already turned down Philly.
I'll tell you.
Oh, he said no?
I would have said Philly even yesterday. Even though he said no and all of that, I think when it comes down to it,
he just wants
his
to be
agent,
gone.
look, man, we're going to get you out of here. We'll worry about tomorrow.
Right.
You know what I mean? But once they move Flacco, dude, they're all in on Jalen. I think that the least of the Eagles' worries right now is that quarterback. I think that told us they moved Flacco, and actually I don't have a problem with that.
Hurts has played well.
Yeah.
It's just that all around it's just a bad team. There's holes everywhere with Philly.
But there's a lot of places to go before they talk about quarterback. They are not winning not because of Jalen Hurts.
Nick Sirianni.
You don't like him?
No, hate him. I mean, I love Doug Peterson.
Damn.
That's the thing is I love Doug Peterson. He had a
Doug got done wrong. You can't win a Super Bowl and then get ran out because of personnel decisions.
Sirianni and Gannon, the offensive coordinator, are first year at both of their positions as play callers and head coaches. I could not be more frustrated with how this team is set up. I don't actually have a problem with the talent. The talent seems to be pretty solid.
Okay.
But just
the offensive line's devastating.
Yeah. Well, the offensive line is up and down, but that's just how you got to deal with it. But really, it comes down to I just don't think that they're
competent.
Their offense,
they're in over their heads.
Their offense is too vanilla to be successful in the NFL. It's like, oh, hey, no motion. You're just going to have a guy run to the right? Okay. Get a couple yards. That's all right.
We're what? This is year 2? Or is it?
This is his first season.
We're counting this as year 1 for Jalen Hurts as a starter. Or are we giving him?
He's still in his first 16
I would say.
games.
Okay, so he's still year 1. So, yeah, you're going to have a vanilla offense. Think back to Dak Prescott's first year. Dak just had more talent around him, but the offense was vanilla. I mean, this guy was taking deep snaps and hadn't taken a snap under center since he had been in high school coming out of Mississippi State. So I do believe that year 1, game, 8, 9, whatever game he started. I don't know how many he started.
Last
He's probably
year was
ahead
4 or
of where
5.
Dak Prescott was. He just doesn't have the guys to throw to.
Yeah, he don't have Amari Cooper.
It showed me when they traded Flacco. Congratulations, Jalen. You've earned it.
Well, remember, they have Gardner Minshew as their backup.
I don't think they're worried about
Philly?
Gardner Minshew taking Jalen's job.
But yeah, Joe Flacco was the third string, and the Jets needed somebody. So they're like, let's get nostalgic.
Yeah, Zach's going to be out for about 4 weeks with a strained PCL or something like that. Yeah.
I took that as, Flacco was never going to be the starter. But I think that I took that as a sign of confidence in the quarterback.
Yeah, I forgot about Minshew. I forgot all about him.
Minshew ain't taking Jalen Hurts' job.
No, he's not.
If he was, it would already happen.
Yeah. So I think they looked at their hierarchy of needs and said, quarterback ain't it. We'll move Flacco. We got a Minshew backup.
Right.
And we will use whatever credit we get back for Flacco to build and help other places. But I think Sirianni and the Hurts relationship is one that in the long run is going to be good.
Yeah, and back to Watson, he just didn't seem interested in the Eagles because if you read the stories as close as we read them, there was a basic, not in so many words, shutdown of Deshaun Watson going to Philadelphia because he has a no-trade clause. The NFL trade deadline is a week from today. November 2nd at 3 o'clock Central Time.
So
that's the 411 and a 210.
I do think at the end of the day, when it came down to the deals, whether it was Philly or some other godforsaken place that Deshaun views as a place I don't want to play, if it was that or nothing, he'd go.
Right. I think so too. I think at this point he just wants to be gone. That's why he's like, okay, I won't just limit it to South Beach. What else can we do?
The move for Carolina I find very intriguing. Would you rather have Sam Darnold right now or Tua? Because I don't think either is a long-term answer.
But see, this is the thing. I still believe in both of those guys because I still believe in maturation and letting things develop. Like Tua is literally in his, again, last year he played 6-7 games and he's coming off the hip injury. He's not done. I don't think Darnold is done. I think they both can still be solid QBs in NFL if we give them time. I don't think we give these guys enough time, but if you want me to choose between the two, I would probably go with Tua.
If you were Deshaun, would you rather have the glitz and glitter of Miami with not a whole lot around you? There's a little bit of offensive talent there. Or would you rather go to Carolina and have McCaffrey half the time, it feels like, and a great wide receiver? What's more? DJ Moore? That's
probably
a good young
player. Because what Rule brings to the table. And eventually the defense isn't the problem. I probably say Carolina.
I think, and that's not exactly where he's from, but it's closer.
Where he's from, Georgia?
He's from North Georgia or somewhere South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina.
Yeah. Probably Carolina.
It would certainly feel like the most amenable place and maybe one that would give him the least amount of flack on the news side of things.
Mm-hmm.
You think that would be a safer landing spot as far as?
Absolutely.
I do too. He's going to get gone. November the 2nd.
We'll see. We got 7 days to do it.
Talk about getting gone or not. Jeff Traylor.
Huh.
his name's in the news for what is not unexpected. It just happened sooner than we expected.
Right.
We knew it was going to happen. We just
Right.
didn't know it was going to happen now.
Right.
Texas Tech fires their coach, and Jeff Traylor, 8-0, certainly looks like a prime candidate. He was on the Blitz yesterday afternoon with Jason Minix. We're going to hear from what he had to say and discern from those words what Tech might be offering. Let's talk the UTSA football program and Jeff Traylor next. Hang around with us. This is R&R in the Morning and on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Sports Center is brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Available at H-E-B.
The wait is finally over, Astros fans. Tonight, Houston will host the Atlanta Braves at Minute Maid Park for Game 1 of the World Series. First pitch is slated for 7:09. All three Texas NBA teams are in action tonight, with the Spurs hosting the Lakers and the Rockets traveling to Dallas to face the Mavericks. Both of those games will tip off at 7:30. And the University of Texas men's basketball team landed the 18th ranked best player in the class of 2022 in a commitment from Dylan Mitchell. The 6'7" small forward is the second 5-star commit for Texas, putting their current recruiting class in the top 20 in the nation. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoening.
That beautifully designed smartphone of yours, it's about to get jealous of a toothbrush. The Oral-B iO electric toothbrush. It doesn't look or feel like any toothbrush you've ever known. You power it on, it quietly hums to life. You choose your brushing mode. Then every time you brush, you'll enjoy the wow of a professional clean feel. At home. All that, and it's winning tech awards and raves from dentists everywhere. Sorry, smartphone. There's some new tech in the house. Check out iO at oralb.com. Brush like a pro.
Pro football season's here, and pro roofers save valuable time with Beacon Pro Plus. Beacon Pro Plus works 24/7 for material ordering, order history, and automated promotion tracking, so you can get your favorite GAF roofing products even when working remotely. And now, order on Beacon Pro Plus and get a $175 gift card and a chance for a VIP pro football getaway. Gear up and raise your game with Beacon Pro Plus today. Build, score, and win at BECN.com.
Rock the Mic is back at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. If you have what it takes to jump on the air with us at San Antonio Sports Star, well, go to sasportstar.com now and upload your best take. Then join us next week at a Slackers near you. Wednesday, November 3rd, we'll be live at Slackers Medical Center. Thursday, November 4th at Slackers on Nacogdoches. You can even enter to win a pair of Dallas Cowboys tickets just for stopping through. Rock the Mic 2021, brought to you by Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
Did you know that United Healthcare helps connect you to doctors and therapists with 24/7 access to virtual care?
So I could have therapy from my couch?
Yep.
Or a doctor appointment from my car?
If you wanted to.
Wait, you're right. I don't even like when people see me sing in the car. Couch appointment it is. Virtual visits are just one of the ways United Healthcare helps connect you to better health. Learn more at uhc.com. Plan benefits may vary.
Thomas J. Henry has been featured in Forbes magazine, Fortune magazine, and Bloomberg Businessweek for securing record-breaking results for clients injured in accidents. For more info or to start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com. San Antonio, Texas.
Tune in to The Blitz today for the ESPN San Antonio Injury Update, powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Catch up on the latest injuries and how it'll affect your team. The Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics. Online at tsaog.com.
1911 Cigars is the premier cigar lounge in South Texas, providing quality, affordable cigars in a professional, inviting environment with a large covered patio with TVs. A BYOB establishment, 1911 Cigars strives to allow the avid cigar connoisseur a comfortable place to relax, socialize, network, and of course enjoy a great cigar. 1911 Cigars is available for private events and has private cabanas with TVs, fire pits, and heaters. 1911 Cigars at 207 South Main Street in Cibolo. Online at 1911cigars.com.
I struggled with symptoms like frequent gas and stomach pain for years.
I was bloated all the time with daily diarrhea.
At first, I thought it was what I was eating.
I kept thinking it was stomach issues.
So I did my research and talked to my doctor, and we finally uncovered the truth.
It was actually EPI. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, is a condition where your pancreas is unable to help break down your food.
It can lead to symptoms like diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily stools.
And EPI symptoms can be confused with those of other common digestive conditions, like irritable bowel syndrome, Crohn's, and celiac disease.
So getting to the right diagnosis meant being more open with my doctor about the severity of my symptoms and how often they were happening.
But there's good news. EPI is manageable, so don't wait any longer. Use the symptom checker at identifyepi.com and schedule a visit or call with your doctor to ask, could I have EPI?
Sponsored by AbbVie.
The fall is a beautiful time of year for sports. The start of the football season, baseball playoffs, basketball, hockey just around the corner. With a safe return of live events, that means you can actually be there to see all the action with Vivid Seats. Whether it's in the upper deck or on the 50-yard line, Vivid Seats has you covered. And with Vivid Seats rewards, you can earn free tickets from your very first purchase. Just buy, collect stamps, and redeem. It's that easy. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats. Experience it live.
Are you wondering where your favorite college football team will be ranked at the end of the weekend? Then look no further than ESPN Radio. Tune in each week to programs such as Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max, Greeny, and Bart, and On, who will deliver their reactions to the college football landscape in their own unique style. Rankings Reaction is brought to you by Wendy's. Get a sausage or bacon, egg, and Swiss croissant for just $1.99 at Wendy's during breakfast hours only. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary.
Sports. It's all about winning and losing. Mostly losing if you're talking about New York football. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Bring that ass back like a boom, 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 boom.
It's R&R in the morning. He's Boom Boom Rudy.
I'm Chocolate Thunder,
He's
baby.
the Chocolate Thunder.
You know how much heat I took for that?
Ain't no playing backboard,
man.
slaying, game delaying.
My boys killed me for the Chocolate Thunder. Killed me. I got so many stripper gifts yesterday. They killed me.
Now coming to the main stage. Chocolate Thunder.
That's him.
We knew this was coming.
We did.
I mean, we shouldn't act surprised, and it certainly is nice to have a hot girlfriend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's nice to be out and about and know that you chose well, that he chose well, that it looks good, but it was coming. So Jeff Traylor, as we sit, has been in the center of conversation for a variety of things. First of all, there was, it felt last year, a change in the dynamic of the football program. You could just see a difference on the field. And that was coupled with the local recruiting and then those local recruits becoming stars nationally. Sincere McCormick is was a legitimate Heisman candidate in this season. Frank Harris, Offensive Player of the Week. Last year, Sincere was second in the country in rushing. Second or third. I mean, it was enough to where he brought name to San Antonio.
It was up there enough to where he was a preseason All-American.
So they have gone on the road. They've conquered every foe. And as Don Harris is apt to say on his News 4 sports broadcasts, Jeff Traylor's Ted Lasso. He's a great motivator. You want to talk to him. He's one of those guys that is just magnetic. So yesterday when the news breaks that Matt Wells, formerly of Texas Tech, had been fired.
Damn.
Talk about a dead man walking. He had a 14-point lead in the second half to Kansas State. Lost.
2.5 years gone.
He just never fit in. It never felt like Matt Wells fit. And you get the feeling that the Texas Tech football program needs to focus more on Texas. So that you can tell.
Traylor is Texas.
You can tell by their candidates. Jeff Traylor, by most accounts, being the leading candidate, along with Sonny Dykes. Graham Harrell, who currently is at USC as their offensive coordinator, was a quarterback in Lubbock. Kendall Briles, well, the Briles name is legendary, and I wouldn't go too far and say maybe his daddy should be on this list as well. I know he was the last time they were looking to hire somebody, but I'm not sure you could ever hire Art Briles again. Jeff Levy, Art Briles' son-in-law, not his son, his other son-in-law.
Damn.
Offensive genius over at Ole Miss. He runs an offense much the style that Lubbock likes, and he's learned at the feet of not only Bryles, but he's been working with Lane Kiffin. There's certainly a lot of offense comes in, and you get the feeling that's what Lubbock feels like they need to do is be an offensive team. Well, Jeff Traylor, leading candidate, was on yesterday. He joined us yesterday during the day, and I get the feeling with us, it's kind of like a couple dudes hanging out in the hallway. We kind of pass, we talk a little bit, and then Minnick sits down, and it's like official. The lights are on, and real stuff happens.
Yeah, Jason comes in throwing haymakers. I'm sitting there looking at him like, oh.
So first of all,
what's up?
You wonder what is going on at Texas Tech. Are they already making calls? Because you don't fire somebody unless you have a pretty decent idea of which direction you're going.
This is my thing with Texas Tech, and this is my thing with a lot of schools. At some point, you have to give somebody. I mean, again, Kingsbury got 6 years, but you know these programs that are getting rid of coaches after 2.5 years because you think in 2 years you're going to become Alabama is silly to me. Schools like Texas Tech have to give you the benefit of the doubt. Like your Tech, like your coach is up against it. I don't care if he's gone to every high school game in Texas. He's up against it. He's fighting A&M. He's fighting UT. He's fighting OU. Like you're up against it. The 2-year stuff. And again, I agree with you, Rob. You got your ear to college football way more than I do. And maybe it just wasn't the right fit and you just cut your losses. But, okay, let's say they do go with Traylor. You can't get rid of him in 2.5 years thinking like, oh, well, he didn't get it fixed in 2.5 years. You're Texas Tech.
But regardless, you know. And I feel like Wells never fit in Lubbock. I think sometimes when you know, you need to go ahead and pull that Band-Aid off. And and you're right. And 99% of the time, we jump the gun way too quickly. We forget the very reason we brought these guys in and don't get them a chance to do that.
But you just like, Wells, it's just not him.
He came in from, where was he?
Utah State.
Yeah. And I don't think he plugged in with the local coaches. And I do think when they hired Wells, I think Lubbock probably saw the writing on the wall and felt like our conference might collapse. And if we do, we'll probably head west. So let's go get a coach that knows the region. It just kind of felt like that was a weird hire to get going at that point. So that didn't work out. It just didn't feel right. And then to lose to Kansas State the way that they did, and he had a winning record. Kirby Holcutt's in a situation. So you don't fire Matt Wells without at least having a plan. Well, yesterday on with Minix, Coach Traylor was asked by Minix, has Tech reached out, and what's the plan there?
Well, first of all, I feel terrible for Matt Wells. I mean, he's a good friend of mine. He's a high character person. Those are 10 coaches on his staff that have families, and you know, it's just tough. So that's where I'll start. I just feel bad for him. Second, anytime my name is brought up, and it's been that way for 17 years now, it's because I've got great players, and my players are the reason anybody ever wants to hire me. It's the reason Dr. Campos hired me. It's the reason President Amy hired me, because of my players. And any moment we're not talking about them and the great year they've had so far is a disservice to them. So they're the reason anybody ever wants to talk to me, and that's who I care about most. I want my players to enjoy this open week, get ready for UTEP, and let's go see if we can continue to honor the triangle of toughness.
The rhombus of reason.
But I mean, you know, and I talked about that with JC yesterday. That is the thing we don't talk about. I mean, yes, Wells getting $7 million to go away, but you know, you do have assistant coach and stuff that you have to uproot. So I understood that, but basically he told us, even if I don't he didn't say it, but I mean, he said my name's gonna always brought up. Even if I don't take this one, this isn't the last time my name's gonna be brought up. That's what I took from that clip.
I think as a coach that I don't know how you would address it, but obviously he has.
Yeah.
Especially when you're at coaching at a program that is a stepping stone program. Mm-hmm. At least it has been so far. Now we would love to see like a Frank Beamer situation at Virginia Tech. The guy gets here early and stays for 40 years and makes the team a competitor, and there's never a question. But that's just not this day and age.
No.
But you have to address it even from early on, and especially now, because now as he has the he's got, he's the flavor of the month. He comes to look at you, UTSA. This is an undefeated school that's on national TV coming up against UTEP on Saturday. It's a different recruiting process. And if I'm recruiting against him, I'm saying he's not going to be there.
Oh, yes.
Is he going to take you with him when he goes to the next school? That's how I'm recruiting the guys who I know have been on campus with Coach Traylor. So it's something you have to address. And I'll be honest with, we didn't hear an answer in that.
No.
He didn't say anything other than, if anybody's talking to me, it's because my players are great. He didn't say I ain't talking to anybody.
Right.
He's just saying they're coming.
Yeah.
Now, as we sit now, let's talk about how you address that. How do you tell the team? Well, he talked about how he's addressed the team. He's been ahead of it, as Coach Traylor told Minix yesterday.
Yeah, just like we do everything else, we're honest with each other. We've been in front of this for a while. We expected to have a really good football team. Those kids all understand with my Texas connections, any Texas job that ever comes open, my name's probably going to be involved in it. We're way in front of this deal. My kids know I'm very, very committed to this place. I'm very excited about the future of our place. Dr. Campos and President Amy have been nothing but helpful. They know how committed I am to winning. They're just as committed. We also know we're going to the AAC. It's a huge step up, and we're going to have to make a bigger commitment for us to be successful. And I'm really excited about all that.
Translation. I'm very good at what I do, but I'm very committed to this. I will be offered another job. And with our move, we all need more money. Not just him, everybody. My assistant coaches, new cleats, new uniforms, new facilities, like everything. You got to step up. You got to, if you're going to go over there, and you have to be able to match who you're recruiting against.
And there's avenues to pay the man that aren't being utilized right now. There's avenues to pay him. It might not be directly from his salary, but he doesn't even have a TV show. He's got a radio show.
He got a radio show.
But he doesn't have a TV. That's a way to generate a little bit more money for him.
And interest, for sure.
For those that aren't aware, most head coaches, while they're getting paid whatever millions, shave off some of that to pay their assistants.
Yes.
Most head coaches don't take the entirety of their pay.
I remember the first guy I remember doing that was Spurrier.
A lot of them do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a way to augment, and it doesn't always go to your lead assistants. I mean, your coordinators are getting paid, but he's talking about your position coaches, your GAs, the ones that are poor, that are really just scraping by. Coaches, that's where they take care. They take care of their guys. So when Matt Wells loses his gig, everybody suffers. And Traylor brings up something important, but we also have to realize while we're talking about, and remember, excuse me, when you hear Traylor talk about commitment, you can just move commitment and replace it with money. Commitment and money are the same interchangeable words in this. So when he's talking about, I am committed to win, I am sure that UTSA is committed. Well, UTSA, the university, their commitment is only seen in one thing: money. How much are you in? How committed are you? And the commitment needs to go from the GAs and, as you said, to everything about the program. So far, Dr. Amy, the president of the university, and Dr. Campos, the AD, have said everything right. And the press conference is embracing the opportunity. We know where we're going. We know what Memphis is doing, and we know how they have funded, and we've seen Cincinnati, and we know what we need to do to pay. Well, this is not just fresh news. I'd like to think they saw this coming. And we heard from Coach Traylor. He said, back in the summer, we had a commitment to growth, and we felt like this would be a good place to land. So obviously things are in place, but now we have to show commitment. I don't think we have to show it immediately.
Money. Commitment and money, the same thing. I like it.
Yeah,
it is though.
That whole breakfast analogy, the chicken is plays a role in breakfast, but the pig is committed.
Right. You're 100% right.
You don't. So
100% right.
When you hear Traylor talk about commitment, it's time for the university to step up, and it's going to be time for those alumni types that aren't in the news to step forward and write the check.
It makes the most sense right now too. Before it's like, I know Frank came out the gate, got his bowl game, but then let's see, but right now, 8-0, and especially if they end up, I don't want to jinx that, but depending on if the season ends well on a really high note, you got and not only that, I know this city. The season ends like how we think it's going to end without jinxing it. It's going to be a lot more people. You know what I mean? That's just how
we're a walk-up market.
First of all, a lot of cities are like that. A lot of cities. I don't want to just throw San Antonio out there like, we're the only front runner city. No, a lot of cities are like that. But if the season is how we want it to, the money, build a winner and they'll come.
We're almost up against it. And this is kind of an esoteric, kind of vague question because it does depend on your perspective and certainly your cheering history. But in the broadest terms, is Texas Tech, much more than a lateral move right now than UTSA in the AAC. Is it?
No.
Is it?
I mean,
is it a step up, or is it just about even, knowing that it's still not the Big 12, but keep in mind there are higher ranked teams in the conference we're going to than there are in the Big 12.
It's not a huge jump. It's not.
It's not. So it
It's
feels
not.
almost like a lateral move, right?
And not only that, the conference you're going to is on its way down.
Right. So
because Michael Menes posed a great question on Twitter, Rob. He said, is the Big 12 still really a Power 5?
Yes, that was dumb.
Why?
That's dumb. Yes, they're a
How?
Power 5. It goes far more than just football to be a Power 5 conference.
Facts. But at the same time, losing UT and OU, it's just AAC Central. It's just it's the AAC now.
No, it's still a better conference football wise too. It is. On the whole, it's still a better football conference. You still have Oklahoma State. You still have Iowa State. You still have Kansas State that is moderately competitive. I mean, Lubbock will still put out a program. It is still
a power
step. It's the least of the 5, but it is part of the 5.
It's not a leap forward, but it is a step forward.
Yeah, it's a step, but they're not better than the big. The AAC, even fully loaded, is not better than the Big 12.
If OU and UT leave, when they do leave, excuse me, that I don't know when the next time you'll see the Big 12 in a Final Four.
Kansas. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about football.
Oh, football. You're not. I think it's about the same opportunity that the Pac-12 has.
Unless Cincinnati keeps rolling.
I disagree with that. I do think that they're on a higher plane. I think if you're a 4-star athlete and you're getting an offer to go play at Cincinnati, or you're getting an offer to go play at Oklahoma State, and I know that they're disparate in concept and coaching, but you would go to Oklahoma State. You would.
So you still, even when them leaving, you still got them a Power 5.
They are a Power 5
that was
conference.
a great question.
But it's closer than it was, but it's still, there is a separation. They're not. But the Power 5 is they're the least of the 5.
Well, first of all, I don't know if we're going to even have a Power 5 in 5 years. But I'm just to answer your question, is it a step up? Regardless if it's still a Power 5 or not, the conference takes a hit.
Oh,
the conference takes. So to answer your question,
it is not a shiny thing.
It's not a big leap up.
And all I ask of Coach Traylor, and if I'm Dr. Campos and Dr. Amy as well, I understand the situation you're in. We all know that you're passing through.
Mm-hmm.
All we ask is, one, give us the right of first refusal, but don't make a lateral move to leave, especially when it looks shiny. We might not be able to match immediately, but over the life of a contract, we'll be able to equal things out. So maybe we can't come up with whatever Tech is offering today, but maybe 3 years from now, the sum total of your contract will be equal to what Tech would have offered. Can we do this? Because it's not a step up. This is lateral for you. Because you're right. Big 12 ain't a shiny toy anymore. It's kind of left behind.
And on a neutral field, they beat Tech this year.
Yes.
This year. They beat Tech this year on a neutral field.
Can I throw something else out before we leave the trailer thing? There's another candidate that should be talked about for the Tech job, and that's the head coach at Incarnate Word. Eric Morris, very quietly, has put together a solid program and is an offensive genius. He was one game away from the national championship game last year.
And he's from the Kingsbury tree.
And he's from the Lubbock tree. I do think that Eric Morris should be and might be a stealth candidate here. Because
you know what? I like him. I like him a lot. You're right.
The glare of the UTSA spotlight has just been pointed there. And Incarnate Word very quietly has put together a stellar program. And Coach Morris has really rejuvenated it. And he's done it with random guys. I mean, the quarterback right now was an option quarterback in high school. He sought and turned this dude into a 6,000-yard passer.
Right.
There is something to be said about what Coach Morris has done, and I would like to think that Kirby Holcutt and the staff would at least reach out to the guy because he does build a program. We're seeing it happen.
Yeah, I like what Eric has done. I've got to see them in person. Mm-hmm. Very good football team. Love what they're doing over there at the Word.
Hey, we got a lot of Spurs talk coming your direction. Lakers are in town. We'll look forward to that. Talk about what we saw last night. And the Dallas Cowboys have an RPP. La'el Collins is coming back. What are they going to do with him? We'll talk about it next. Hang around with us. This is R&R in the Morning, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. I want to talk to you real quickly about a Rosti. A Rosti is a process. It's a procedure. It's a way to get you out of pain. Arasti providers are all around San Antonio. And when we talk about what an Arasti provider is, it is a medical professional that was already in the business. This is a certification. I would like to call it like a master's level, a doctorate level certification that you get once you're already a medical professional. You're already a chiropractor. You're already a rehab specialist. You're already a physician, and you go and get the Arasti certification. So what you're getting when you go to an Arasti provider is expert level care and passion about getting you out of soft tissue injuries and pain, like sprains and pulls, lower back issues, frozen shoulders, bad hips and backs like I deal with, plantar fasciitis, tension headaches, musculature issues, and skeletal issues can be fixed by Arasti in a remarkably short amount of time, in most cases under 4 visits. So if you're like me and you've dealt with lower back pain and you know how long it takes once you throw your back out, knowing that you could go back to an Arasti provider and cut that rehab time nearly in half, what are you waiting on? They're all around San Antonio. They accept most insurances, and you don't need a referral to go see one. Write this number down. It's 1-800-404-6050. Again, 1-800-404-6050. Arasti providers around San Antonio. You go to Arasti.com. You'll see the map. One less than 10 minutes from where you are right now, I'm sure. Don't let pain keep you from doing things that you love. Call an Arasti provider today. You'll be amazed at how quickly you'll feel better and get yourself back in. Again, the number is 1-800-404-6050. Call them today and thank me tomorrow.
Score $1,000 now. Enter the winning keyword, football. FOOTBALL. Football at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
There's confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. One thing is certain, whether you're vaccinated or not, you need an accurate thermometer to check for fever, the leading sign of flu and COVID. Be vigilant and contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever. Don't rely on non-contact thermometers that have no scientific studies. Only the Exergen temporal scanner thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Learn more at exergen.com.
Welcome to Texas, where the sun is beaming down and can damage the interior of your car, even in lower temperatures. Unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo since 1984.
1984? That's impressive.
Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. San Antonio and Austin stores. motherswindowtint.com.
Remember, do it at Mother's and save!
The killer crossovers, the nothing but net jumpers, the tenacious throwdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, basketball is back. DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, is celebrating the return to the hardwood by giving new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Playing daily fantasy hoops is easy. Just pick your lineup of pro basketball ballers, stay under the salary cap, and rack up points for three-pointers, rebounds, assists, and more. Score big, and you can score big cash. And with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes, it's the perfect time to show off your basketball IQ. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings app and use code KJM. This week, new customers can get a free shot at millions in total prizes with your first deposit. That's code KJM. Only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
The Dallas Cowboys, the Minnesota Vikings. The showdown happens on Sunday Night Football. Get the call live at 7:20. Sponsored by AA Best Bail Bonds in Ewald, Kubota. San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
San Antonio's home for sports talk is right here. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R in the morning. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. Karl Schoenig, making us sound good. Going to 10 o'clock. Rudy and I are road tripping today.
Woo! What a day. What a day. And it's all worth it.
Over on Sunday, I'm going to give credit where it's absolutely due. On Sunday, Jason Minix said, "Hey, man, have you talked to the guys up in Bristol, the ESPN types, the mothership, the suits?
Mm-hmm.
You ask them for any tickets? Because the last time the Astros were in the series, we got some tickets, and I'd sure like to go." So I promptly wrote our contact with the guy up in Bristol, Jeff Martindale, lovely man.
Yes, very lovely.
So, if something falls through, let us know. So the turnaround was immediate. You reach out. Well, no, it was about 24 hours, and that's pretty quick for him. Mm-hmm. He reaches out and says, "Hey, man, two just fell in my lap. I know it's a quick turnaround. Do you want them?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Well, are you taking a client?" So, "Oh, yeah." So I had him email Rudy like, "Are you down? Because this is what's going to have to happen. We're going to have to be back for the show tomorrow. So you want to do this? I've got tickets." And we're in. So we're going to take off about 2:00, and
you have to
add an item to my bucket list.
17 innings later.
I know.
No. If that's the case, I don't know what we're going to do, but. Yes. So Jason, I wonder what he's going to.
Jason,
you got to take care of.
I'm sorry, Jason.
You'll figure it out.
I've got other lines out, but I've never been.
Neither have I.
So there we have it. He has.
He's been to the series.
Yeah,
he's been everywhere. Y'all both have been everywhere. Y'all both have had y'all's the bucket list is long.
I have been to national championship games in every sport but hockey and baseball. Never been to a World Series game. Never been to a hockey.
No
final, but seen NBA.
I've seen NBA,
NFL. I guess that's about it. All the college stuff.
College, of course. We had the Final Four right here in our backyard.
Hey, let's talk some Spurs when we get back, and some NFL. The Cowboys, coming off of a bye week, seem to be in pretty good shape. Sunday night game against the Minnesota Vikings that you can catch right here on San Antonio's Sports Star. But who's going to be starting at right tackle? We look forward to the rest of the games.
We're going to talk about this.
We got some tickets to give away, too. At 8:30, we'll look at the Spurs and the Lakers, and I've got tickets to go run around a cornfield.
Corny maze.
Get chased by Malachi. I don't think that'll actually happen, but Traders Village has a great corny maze, and we got a family 4-pack. We're going to give away about 8:45, so lock it in. Stay with us. We got so much to get into, and it won't be any fun unless you're with us. This is R&R in the Morning, and you're on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Do you have what it takes to rock the mic?
Hey, this is RJ Ochoa.
Hi, this is Carolina Teague.
Hey, San Antonio, it's Thomas Mott.
Slacker Sports Bar presents Rock the Mic. Now is the time to submit your 1 minute or less sports take video clip at sasportstar.com. From there, we narrow down to the top 12 finalists with 4 rounds of live in-person auditions. Who will be the 2021 Rock the Mic champ? It could be you. Rock the Mic, presented by Slacker Sports Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
Hey, sports bettors, I'm talking to you. This is Rob Thompson here to tell you about my favorite sports book. That's BetUS. Football's here. You need to be playing it. It's been a great couple of weeks. Why not start now? Well, BetUS is the best place to start because they've been around for 25 years. That's the integrity I'm looking for with the longevity. You need a sports book that offers everything, including live betting, MMA, golf, horses, esports, you name it, they've got it. To join, it's so easy. Call today, 1-800-79-BET-US. Again, 1-800-79-BET-US. And when you dial it, remember this, KZDC. If you tell them KZDC, that's us, you're going to get up to 200% in bonuses on your first deposit. Nobody does that. I bet at BetUS, so should you. I want you to join BetUS.com today. Call them right now. Start betting with America's favorite sportsbook. And remember to use KZDC for up to 200% in bonuses. BetUS.com. It's where the game begins.
According to NHTSA, in 2019, more than 5,000 people were killed in crashes involving large trucks in the U.S. If you were injured in an 18-wheeler accident, contact Thomas J. Henry. To start your claim today, visit tjhlaw.com/radio. San Antonio, Texas.
Central Builders Incorporated is a family-owned, award-winning general contractor headquartered in San Antonio. Since 1989, CBI has completed over $1 billion in construction projects, including large-scale remodeling, expansions, and ground-up construction. The award-winning CBI has also been recognized by the San Antonio Business Journal as one of the best places to work for the
the past 4 years, and Central Builders is hiring. Learn more at centralbuilders.net. That's centralbuilders.net.
There's a confusion about how to protect yourself from COVID. But one thing is for sure. Whether or not you're vaccinated, you need an accurate thermometer. Contact your medical provider at the first sign of fever, the leading sign of COVID and the flu. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate in more than 100 clinical studies. Be vigilant and don't rely on non-contact thermometers. They have no scientific studies behind them and can miss the fever that might mean COVID. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Cleanliness and safety are essential to the success of any business. That's why Cintas has introduced our Total Clean program, a one-of-a-kind service that includes scheduled deliveries of essential cleaning supplies, hygienically cleaned uniforms, and on-site sanitizer and disinfectant services to help eliminate germs. Learn what the Cintas Total Clean program can do for you.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Happy Hour is back at Twin Peaks, and we're offering up more than just great drinks. Score yourself some chips and salsa for just $2. Your choice of mozzarella cheese bites, chips and queso, or fried pickles, where they're just $4. And the triple play quesadillas or 6 boneless wings, that's right, only $6. Each of these epic appetizers are craveable, shareable, and delicious. And what a deal. Happy Hour at Twin Peaks just got better. See you Monday through Friday, 2 to 7 p.m. Again at late night. Get to Twin Peaks, eats, drinks, and those scenic views.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Oh, won't you stick with me, baby? I'm going to make a lot of bread. I mean both money and actual bread. But right now I need dough, cause my delivery truck's dead. And by dough, I mean money. Trucks don't run on bread.
Owning a small business isn't always as lovely as it sounds, but with personalized discounts that save you money, Progressive Commercial keeps you humming along. Get a quote in as little as 6 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
I need more dough. Need with an N. I need more dough. Need with a K.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage and discounts not available for all vehicles or states. Policy terms and conditions apply.
5G is here, but the big carriers want you to sign a pricey long-term contract to get in on the action. Well, no more, because Straight Talk Wireless has rolled out 5G coverage nationwide, with plans starting at just $35 a month with no contract. And get a Samsung Galaxy A32 5G for only $299, all on America's best networks. 5G coverage, 5G phones, less money. Straight Talk Wireless, no contract, no compromise. 5G capable device required, actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today? So it's about time for an oil change. We've got what you need. Right now, you can get 5 quarts of Mobil 1 full synthetic or synthetic high mileage motor oil and an STP extended life oil filter for just $36.99. And you can get it all fast, your way. Just order online with our free same-day store pickup or next-day delivery.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Start your job today at AutoZone.com. Restrictions apply.
From examining how vital bats are in the creation of Mexican tequila to exploring a lost continent right under our feet, each episode of Nat Geo's Overheard podcast takes a dive into the conversations that occur behind the scenes at National Geographic. Overheard is presented by the City Advantage Platinum Select Card, the card built for your adventure. For a limited time, apply for the City Advantage Platinum Select Card, and you can earn 50,000 Advantage bonus miles after qualifying purchases. Head to city.com/adventure to learn more.
From the Mother's Window Tint Studio, one team, one mission, KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Welcome on to San Antonio Sports Star. This is R&R. He's Rudy. I'm Rob. Karl Schoening directing, producing us all the way to 10 o'clock. It's a World Series day.
Game one.
Game one tonight. You'll catch right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Pre-game get going at 6, 7:07 first pitch for your home for the World Series. At 8:30, we'll get ready for the Spurs. It'll be the shoot-around. Something we're getting started. It'll be a regular game day.
Yes.
Shoot around. We'll talk about who's coming, what they've been doing, who's hurt, what to expect. We'll do that at game day every day at 8:30.
Brutal little schedule to start.
Oh, man. And so many people were excited after the first game. So many people were excited about the Spurs and how good they looked against the Orlando Magic. And they've looked respectable. I don't think anybody's down on the Spurs, but it's just going to be hard.
No.
It's going to be hard. They sit 1-2, and now they're dealing with the Lakers. Whether they have LeBron or not, I don't know. Well, I think it plays huge sway. I think without LeBron, this is a very winnable game. I would like to see them go out and beat the Lakers. Feel good about yourselves.
Yeah.
Just not going to be easy. But, of course, the news of the day, nobody really expected to see the Braves and the Astros go at it. The Braves only won 88 games.
Wow.
But I heard something earlier this morning to kind of put things in perspective. Braves only won 88, but they closed the season 44-22. They were on fire. It's a team that knows how to win.
Yeah, they do.
They've had different paths to come here. Atlanta entered this season with a 10-1 odds to win it all. It's Caesars, tied for fourth best in Major League Baseball, far shorter than the Astros. Houston were at 22-1.
22-1?
Yeah. Astros had the longest odds all year as they dropped to 18-1 less than a week into the season and continued to fall from there. Houston was the favorite to come out of the American League after a late June run and never really looked back. The Braves didn't have a winning record until August the 6th. They're the first team to get to the World Series after not having a winning record until this late in the season. So they got hot late.
I love the fun facts.
They're fun to root for if you haven't watched a lot of Braves baseball.
Yeah, you like Freddie.
I do. I think Freddie Freeman, he's a competitor, but he's one of those guys that just looks like he's having fun playing baseball.
Right.
Oh, yeah, he gets
it looks
paid.
like a kid's game with Freddie, right?
He gets paid to do it, and so do the Astros.
And they got the youngster over there, too. They got some guys, man. I think this could be an interesting series that goes who knows? I think this could go 6 or 7.
It should, just because the offensive output we expect. I think we're going to see games nearer to 10 than we was 10-8, 10-9, 20-run games
versus 2-1.
Yeah, versus that. It just doesn't feel like either one of these teams is capable of not capable in the best term, but their offense is just too strong.
And Stroh's pitching compared to when they won the series isn't the same. They don't have Garrett anymore, so I don't know. Should be interesting.
Now, there is some symmetry to remember when the Nats got hot back a couple years ago, late in the season, National League teams starting to feel it about themselves and kind of getting that rhythm. There's some symmetry between the Braves and the Nationals.
See, when the Nationals ran up against, that was the Stros, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That staff, Scherzer, the other kid that load management, whatever. Their pitching staff was insane that year.
Well, you think about what the Nationals were like back then. Both of them lost a superstar. Harper left in free agency. The Braves lose Acuna. Both overcome slow starts. Nationals started in 1931 back in 2019. The Braves were 40-45 at the All-Star break. Both faced the Brewers and the Dodgers and the Astros in that succession.
Brewers, Dodgers, Astros.
And both have pretty unlikely NLCS MVPs. Howie Kendrick back in 19, Eddie Rosario this year. Astros play offense. That's what they do. Are they going to be able to out-offense the cheater? Is that just...
Why you got to say it like that?
I mean...
No, but I know that... No.
I was talking to my mom. My mom's not even a baseball fan.
What did she say?
And I said, yeah, I'm going to the Astros game tomorrow. She goes, I'm going to root for them even though they're cheaters.
And what
that's my mom. So everybody thinks that. I mean, at this point, you're either in or you're out. I don't think there's anybody that just passively says, oh, yeah, I heard about that. You either think they're awful or think that everybody else was doing it. They just got caught, if they even got caught.
Right. Well, I mean, again, they just dealt with it this playoffs.
So
it's not going anywhere.
Should they adopt the screw you attitude?
I don't think it's been adopted. The paperwork's signed. That's what they're rolling with.
Should Altuve, every time he scores, rip open his jersey just to play with people, have a wire with some tape just to act like, oh no, this isn't real, and then pull that off?
Yeah, trash can tattoo on the forearm.
Wait for the whistle. Wait for the drum beat. Wait for the garbage can. I'd have them all. Those would be my mascots. I would own this.
I think they already have.
Good. I want them to be that way. I want them to be the bad. If you want to be the bad guy, you want to be
Tony.
You want to be Tony. The world needs a bad guy.
The world needs a bad guy.
There's our bad guy. He's 5'6" and his name is Altuve.
Damn, he's a little dude.
Make room for the bad guys.
It should be an exciting series.
Let's hope.
Or you think this is a possibility the Braves get done up quick?
I don't think that's the case,
okay.
but I can say this: if the Astros lose, it'll be the karma. You had it coming.
Yeah.
You didn't get to cheat, so you lost. And if the Astros win, you cheated. That's how you won.
This one gets the monkey. I mean, the Spurs dealt with it, 99-03. Then you had, 99. Oh, it was a shortened season. That's fake. Who else had the Patriots? The Spygate. Oh, y'all were cheating. Y'all were cheating. Though they go and win 3 more. It's the Astros' turn. Like, if you win this one, what are you going to say now? Now, what are y'all going to say? So that's what this series is about. Shutting up the haters. Because they're still fully out there.
I just don't think it's going to happen.
I don't think so either.
I think if they win, which is they're
I still get
right
tweets
now.
to this day. Like the other day when we were talking about the Astros, screw them. When they went to the World Series, all the haters came out.
So you know what? If it's not going to go away, own it. Just own it. I would even have on my championship ring a little garbage can with a little bat hitting it.
Yeah, or a little engraved. What are you going to say now? Engrave it on the inside, right here on the inside of the ring. What you going to say now? So, yeah.
Now, if you're Correa, you have it's my time now.
Correa just want to see the money. 340, 10 years. Good Lord. So we'll see what kind of World Series he has. His check's on the line.
You know what? That's another part to this. He could just go earn it, and he could make it just about impossible for the Astros to let him go. We'll continue talking Astros, and don't forget to follow us on the socials. Rudy and I are striking out on a road trip. We're going to exit the city about 2 o'clock, and hopefully we try to be back in 12 hours if we're lucky.
What are your socials? For people who don't follow you already?
At Rob Thompson ESPN. Thank you, Karl. You're
Rudy
right.
J _star.
_star.
I'm at Karl ESPN. I won't be on the road trip, but I will be at the Lakers game.
Oh, you are?
We will be checking in with him consistently. Video coming from Facebook, and we're going to talk Lakers in just a bit. Let's get you ready in the shoot around in 15 minutes. But before that, we know you need them, and we got them. We know you're jonesing for it. We got a special on it today. It's time for the 411 and the 210.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
I don't know what the special is, but I can tell you that there's something brewing in Auburn as the head football coach, Brian Harsin, declines to disclose his vaccination status as a mandate deadline looms, with Auburn University last week mandating a December 8th deadline for all university employees to be fully vaccinated against COVID-19. Head football coach Brian Harsin on Monday declined to disclose whether or not he had received the vaccine or planned to receive it.
Ruh-roh.
In that state? That school did that?
State schools are doing that. They already require
I'm just shocked.
vaccinations for other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just shocked because
in Alabama.
Because
even in Alabama, they have science, Rudy. Even medicine works and science works in Alabama.
And Alabama is one of the
hotbed.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm shocked. I thought they didn't believe in the vaccine in the whole state. So I'm shocked that Auburn is doing this.
Alabama's, what did they, 100%, didn't he? Didn't he say? But
Nick said he was 100.
Nick Saban probably said, get it or get off.
Exactly. Science, they even have it in Bama. Who'd have thought? Hey, man, we talked about Washington State. You want to go play in traffic, you're going to get hit by a car.
Look, Washington State is one thing. I still thought that was dumb because you don't do it for Auburn. I don't know. That would be crazy to me. But then again, you have people in Brooklyn protesting outside the Nets arena like the Nets did this, not the state. You idiots. Y'all are some people, like, that's why I now understand why people have dogs and cats, because humans are so stupid sometimes. Like, why are you protesting at the Nets? But no, I'm shocked because this is Alabama. I'm shocked that Auburn has a mandate. I'm super shocked because of where it's at.
When is the deadline? December
8th.
December 8th for all university employees.
And is that fully vaccinated or one vaccine? Probably.
Because if it's full, he got to start now.
Yeah, but it's probably just one. The only reason I'm asking is because I have a kind of a vested interest in this. Is A&M gets Auburn in 2
weeks or the next game.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe the Auburn job opens up. Then now we really got a carousel.
Yeah, then we'll be talking.
I mean, can you imagine Auburn and LSU being open at the end of the season? That's 2 great jobs.
The SEC, 2 cherry jobs. Absolutely. Yeah. And it wouldn't be surprising. Moving on.
Headline 1.
Draymond Green to buy another $5,000 bottle of wine on Joe Lacombe's tab in honor of Steph Curry's 75th team nod. In honor of Curry making NBA's 75th anniversary team, Green said he was going to enjoy the occasion in style inside one of the same Oklahoma City restaurants where he celebrated Curry's breaking Wilt Chamberlain's franchise record for points last season. What makes the meal even more special is that Green said he'll be ordering up another bottle of, I'm going to butcher this. I'm sorry, wine snobs.
No, it's all good.
Domaine de la Romée Conte La Tache, a French wine.
Ooh, good effort.
I'll try. I'll take the good effort. A French wine that can start around $5,000 a bottle. The quote from Draymond, Steph just made the 75th team, so y'all can call Joe this time and tell Joe that we about to order the bottle of DRC because Steph made the 75th team and Clay's 77.
What is the 77 bottle?
He was the 77th.
Boone's Farm?
He was the 77th, the 77th best player in NBA history.
What does $5,000 wine taste like?
Oh, you don't drink that.
What do you mean?
You just let that go into the yeah. Well, they're rich enough that that's like $15 for them.
I know, but that's silly. What do you mean you don't drink it?
Oh, you drink it.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say.
If it's on the owner's tab, if you buy it, you put it in the
and what, you just collect it?
Yep. You save it for a very special occasion, but I guess making a top 75 is a very special occasion.
But then again, like you said, that's $3 to them, so they're gonna chug. They're gonna finish that bottle that night.
I'd to anybody, man, a $5,000 bottle of wine. I know it in the long run, you've got that kind of money, but even if you got a lot of money, you got to go. What exactly makes
it $5 grand? I think it's the age.
Well, the age and certainly the flavor. And I'm not a wine connoisseur by any stretch. But I would like to think that the difference between, say, and I'm stretching if I'm spending 50. That's when company's coming over. Am I going to legit be able to tell
50 is a lot to me for wine.
So
I try to keep my wine under 20.
100 times more expensive. Would it taste 100 times different?
I'm sipping that. I'm savoring every sip. Like,
it better be a couple liters big if it's $5 grand.
I think it's the same bottle size.
I don't think it has anything to do with volume.
Yeah,
I think it's about the label on the bottle, and it is something that escapes us. And I'm sure somebody like Pop or somebody who thoroughly understands wine would go, "Well, this is why."
Right.
And you would go, well, even with that, but I guess if I was into it, I would get it.
Yeah, wine is crazy. The price, some of the prices on wine is
now
insane.
I get it on your tab.
Right.
I mean,
I'm not on mine.
Shoot.
But you see, even Draymond, who makes really good money, he won't put it on his.
That must be nice to have access to an owner's credit card for special occasions.
I mean, they make him billions.
Yeah, it's a
small price. That's a small price to pay for a team. How much he probably buy the Warriors for?
$1 billion.
No,
probably a little bit.
I thought it was a little less than that.
Maybe around that, but yeah, it's somewhere in there.
But they're worth about $5 right now.
Now they're more valuable than the Lakers.
Yeah, they're worth about $5 now. So
he could buy a couple bottles of wine.
Yeah,
But Clay, you get Boone's Farm, 77. Celebrate with some magic moments.
I think Cuban spent $100 grand after the 2011 finals
on champagne.
Yeah, $100 grand.
See, the pro move is the good stuff you don't put in the locker room.
No.
All for spraying.
Yeah, people are gonna be wearing that.
Yeah,
I had a chance in Cleveland. I went and picked up the champagne corks in the locker room. After
you did?
I still have a couple, 3 or 4.
See, I was a rookie in 2014. It was my first time covering the finals, and I'm such an idiot. Well, not an idiot. I was just ignorant. I didn't know. Like, I'm walking in and I'm like, why is there a line to get in the locker room in the first quarter? I'm like, what are these people doing down here? It's the first quarter. So I go. By the time I make my way down after the Spurs clinched the title,
they were all waiting to.
Everybody, all the smart people that were in line, they got champagne showered.
Mm-hmm.
So they knew, they were like, hey, they're gonna win this thing tonight. I want to be in the locker room while the champagne's going on and stuff. So I missed the champagne shower by a little bit.
Burns.
I should have had. I wanted to get some champagne on my nice blazer, and I didn't. But I was there. I was there. I
haven't been in a celebration. I've had some champagne thrown in my face, and it burns.
Yeah, that's why they wear the goggles.
Yes.
I got to ask Tony Parker the first question that night. One of the highlights of my career is actually covering the 2014 finals.
In Miami. That was nice, too.
No, it was here. They clinched here.
I thought you were talking about it.
Oh, hell, I wish I was in Miami. Moving on.
Headline 0.
Game-worn Michael Jordan rookie sneakers sell for a record $1.47 million. A pair of those game-worn game-worn Michael Jordan sneakers from his rookie season sold for that record to high-end card collector Nick Fiorella on Sunday night during Sotheby's Icons of Excellence and Luxury auction in Las Vegas, shattering the record for most expensive game-worn footwear. The sneakers were donned in Jordan's 5th NBA game, a 17-point, 5-rebound, 5-assist outing against the Denver Nuggets. Photo matching purports that sneakers could have been worn even sooner. The shoes are Nike Airships designed by sneaker icon Bruce Kilgore, who created Nike Air Force in 1982 and went on to design the Air Jordan 2s. The legend is that when Nike first made a deal with Jordan in 1984, his first signature shoe, Air Jordan 1s, wasn't ready. So in the meantime, Nike supplied Jordans with Airships, but Jordans were so colorful that the NBA informed him they violated the uniform clause.
Not the Airships, but the Jordan 1s, because there was no
I need to
white
see a
in
picture.
them.
Yeah, I need to see the picture.
These Airships that
are all white. They're white and red.
They're white and red.
We wore these. These are the ones you could buy at Foot Locker. I mean, these were the ones that were around, but these were pre-Jordan 1s. Now, the Jordan 1s he got in trouble for because every tennis shoe back then had to have some white, and he didn't have any white. They were just black and red.
Oh,
I think he was fined like $5,000 a game, and Nike said, "We got that. Don't worry."
The NBA picked that up pretty quick. But this respect. Now, my question about these shoes: they say game worn in one game. These shoes are wore out. These have been worn since. If you look at them, they are dirty.
Oh, they don't look. So it didn't look like Mike just played one game.
The toes are scuffed. This is not just a single game unless they played outside. Now, that means much.
They were saying that it could have been worn before or after, but they specifically said at least his 5th game.
Well, no, the guy who had somebody along the way that got him used them.
Somebody did. I'm telling you, this is not the wear and tear of an NBA basketball court. There's black and dark scuff marks.
How long ago was 1984?
Well, look, no, I don't see any yellowing. I mean, these have been hermetically sealed someplace. I mean, as far as when you look at the old shoes, normally the sole's yellow and you start seeing some cracking. And certainly you would expect some creasing, but these look like they've been worn regularly. Like these were not just one game off.
So the guy who bought this is either silly rich and just a silly collector, or feels like he's going to double up in 10 years.
Money on this.
Both.
Oh, the Jordans that weren't Jordans that were game worn. Think how rare that is.
Yeah,
these aren't even Air Jordans. These are
were they ships? Airships?
Airships is what they
were.
They
were the championship. There was a little apostrophe there.
I'm gonna look at them in the break. I need to see this.
You'll recognize it.
Yeah,
you'll see them. Go, oh man! At least in my day, from the mid '80s, we all had these.
Okay,
those were the shoes we wore. Not what I expected, quite frankly. I'd have bought those if I'd had the money.
Yeah,
this is one of those. This is not a non-fungible whatever. This is something real.
Melvin says Rob knows his kicks. He is. Rob. I didn't. Again, when I first came over here, it was
respect from Melvin.
Yeah,
it was somebody knows his kicks.
I was, shocked to find out that Rob was a sneakerhead.
I got it from my sons. Well, I was always a sneakerhead, but I didn't realize I was. There was no such thing when it first started. I just liked Jordans. That was just we like Jordans, and I like Georgetown basketball, so I just started buying the stuff, and it became culture.
Do you remember when we first saw the first shoe that was $100? Remember what we thought? And now that's like, oh,
wow, it's on special. That's a deal. We had reached an apex of basketball shoes about 2014, 2013, 2012, 2013. Kicks were getting to like 225 and 230.
LeBron's were 300.
Just for not PEs, these were just shoes that. And then Kyrie came out, and his shoe was 125.
And I was like,
and it
cool.
brought the market back. I mean, it had gotten so. LeBrons and the KDs were ridiculous.
Yeah, there were bronze at like 280 after tax 300.
And for a guy who had two sons playing basketball, the shoe budget was high. It's a lot better now.
Yeah. You can get some shoes for 120, 150.
Respect and playing them, too.
Right.
I'd buy those, though. Moving on.
That's the 411 and a 210.
Hey, coming back, we're getting ready for the Spurs. It will be the shoot-around. Lakers are in town. We're talking about it next. Hang around. This is R&R in the Morning, and you are on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Service First AC and Plumbing are my air conditioning and plumbing company. I keep their number in my phone. That's 210 No Sweat. Take some time right now. Put 210 No Sweat in your phone. I'll tell you why. And as a homeowner, as a business owner, it's not a matter of if, but when your air conditioning or your plumbing is going to go down. And one dial will have a Service First out at your home in a remarkably short amount of time because they specialize in emergencies. That's what they do. 24/7, 365 for 14 years. Great San Antonians taking care of other San Antonians. You call them, someone will answer 24/7. 210 No Sweat's the number. If it's the first time out, you're going to get half off that service call. And remember, winter's almost here. Heck, I think the first day of fall was yesterday. Might not feel like it today. Your air conditioning might be on its last legs, but the heat's going to be required here in a couple of weeks. Why not have Service First AC and Plumbing? Come out, check out, make sure everything is working for you. Getting ready for a long and cold winter, as we've been told. It's always a great time to get your air conditioning fixed up and great deals to be had. Remember, 210 No Sweat, Service First AC and Plumbing will come out. Now, when they do come out, this is what's great about them. First of all, they're reliable. You can trust that they're going to come out and fix the problem the first time. They're proactive. They're going to make sure that everything that needs to be fixed will be fixed. They'll look around to make sure that any problems coming down the pike, you get ahead of it and you don't have to pay so much to get things fixed after they're broken. Most importantly, I trust them. I sent them over to my mother's house. When you refer somebody to your mom and it doesn't work out, I would have never heard the end of it. But I'd been working with Service First AC and Plumbing long enough to know they were going to take care of it. And guess what? Of course they took care of my mama. She was happy as can be, and now they have a long-term customer in my mother. They specialize in emergencies, and we know that if it's yours, it's absolutely an emergency. You want to see how good they are? Go check out all the 5-star reviews. Go to their website. That's ServiceFirstACTX.com. Put it in your phone. That's 210 No Sweat and feel safe and comfortable. What are you going to do when your air conditioning breaks? I know what I do, and you should do the same. Call Service First AC Plumbing at 210 No Sweat.
Sports Center is brought to you by Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Available at H-E-B.
The wait is finally over, Astros fans. Tonight, Houston will host the Atlanta Braves at Minute Maid Park for Game 1 of the World Series. First pitch is slated for 7:09. All three Texas NBA teams are in action tonight, with the Spurs hosting the Lakers and the Rockets traveling to Dallas to face the Mavericks. Both of those games will tip off at 7:30. And the University of Texas men's basketball team landed the 18th ranked best player in the class of 2022 and a commitment from Dylan Mitchell. The 6'7" small forward is the second 5-star commit for Texas, putting their current recruiting class in the top 20 in the nation. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoening.
So as you guys know, Mark's gone.
The float artist at Fred's Floral just took off, days before the parade. They need a replacement before business passes them by.
And who am I going to get to finish the float?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
This flu season update is sponsored by Exergen. It's easy to put off a flu shot. The season is long, but CBS News' Dr. Tara Narula says you should get one as soon as you can.
We all think of the flu as, well, it's just the flu. But the reality is the flu can have serious consequences. It can evolve into other complications.
Fever is the #1 COVID symptom, so be safe with an accurate thermometer. Only Exergen is proven accurate in more than 100 studies. Learn more at Exergen.com.
At CDW, we get new work environments can bring new distractions.
My kitchen is my new office. It's also home to our new family smoothie machine.
While CDW experts can pre-configure Dell Latitude 9000 series laptops with built-in AI that learns how users work to minimize disruptions and help you and your organization stay productive. Ooh, even when life gets messy.
I'll get the hose.
For technology that helps you adapt, trust Dell Technologies and IT orchestration by CDW. People who get it. Learn more at cdw.com/Dell Client.
R&R in the Morning, sitting with Jason Thompson. A lawyer for us.com is his website. 210-900-0400. 210-900-0400. Jason Thompson. I'm curious. I was in a car accident, but I wasn't the driver. I was just a passenger. Do I need a lawyer too?
I think anytime you are injured in an automobile collision, whether you were the driver, a passenger,
the guy in the back seat, know this, that when insurance is involved, every insurance company I have ever heard of has a staff of lawyers on staff right now. As soon as that collision happens, whoever caused it is represented by an attorney. And if you think you're going to alone beat an insurance company's team of lawyers, you're sadly mistaken. The first thing you do is call me.
Jason Thompson, alawyerforus.com, 210-900-0400. 210-900-0400, alawyerforus.com.
Hey, San Antonio Sports Star listeners, this is Michael Kielbasa with Kielbasa Smoked Meats. Thanks to fans like you, you can now buy Kielbasa products just about everywhere. We hope you continue to enjoy our handcrafted, small batch smoked meats because we sure enjoy making them for you. So grab some today and let me know what you think. My number's on the back of every pack. Right by my promise that if it's not the best you've ever tasted, I'll give you your money back. Find Kielbasa at a store near you today.
The killer crossovers, the nothing but net jumpers, the tenacious throwdowns. Ladies and gentlemen, basketball is back. DraftKings, the leader in daily fantasy sports, is celebrating the return to the hardwood by giving new customers a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Playing daily fantasy hoops is easy. Just pick your lineup of pro basketball ballers, stay under the salary cap, and rack up points for three-pointers, rebounds, assists, and more. Score big, and you can score big cash. And with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes, it's the perfect time to show off your basketball IQ. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings app and use code KJM. This week, new customers can get a free shot at millions in total prizes with your first deposit. That's code KJM. Only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
Your exclusive home for the 2021 World Series. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. R&R gets you ready for tonight's game. The shoot-around.
Wow, that's restaurant quality right there. It is the shoot-around, the Spurs taking on the Los Angeles Lakers tonight. 7:30 tip. Home again. You'll be there tonight, won't you, Karl?
Yeah, I'll be interviewing the new coach for the Austin Spurs, Peter Bozic, and the GM for the Austin Sheraton Hotel. Or, excuse me, Fairmount Hotel.
Oh.
Austin Fairmount Hotel. Apparently,
Random.
they're both
Big
Serbian.
sponsor.
Yeah, and I think a sponsor, but they're both Serbian, and they knew each other, and next thing you know, he's the head coach
So
of the
what,
Austin
do you speak
Spurs.
Serbian? Is that the word?
Do I? No. That I won't go Serbian on him either. As that's
What's the language they speak in Serbian?
Serbian.
Serbian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not too many people speak Serbian in the United States.
No, only Pop, and he's normally mad.
And probably CIA people, people top notch.
Boban.
Yeah. Oh, Boban.
In fact, it was funny. I think it was one of the years Boban was on the Spurs. We played a Christmas game in Houston, and I went with my dad, with my mom, and we were at the hotel bar, and the woman behind the bar was Serbian, and she just loved that Boban was there because she could finally speak Serbian. She couldn't speak Serbian to anybody in Houston forever, but here comes a good old 7'5" man that can speak Serbian, and she was in love.
Awesome.
From the heights. The Lakers come in 1-2.
What we got?
They're second in the Pacific. Starting lineups appear to be Russell Westbrook, Kent Bazemore, Malik Monk, LeBron James, who is day-to-day, and Anthony Davis.
Monk is over there.
Malik Monk's an athlete.
They got everybody.
They do have a lot of guys, maybe too many if you look at what Westbrook has done, but that's the situation as it sits. The Spurs are also 1-2. They're third in the Southwest, coming off 2 consecutive losses, 2 competitive losses. I don't think anybody was overly worried about how they lost. We saw Doug McDermott arrive, do what Dougie does.
7 threes.
7 threes.
Career high.
That was a glorious. If I'm Pop, I know the outcome wasn't what I wanted, but the guys I got are doing what I got them to do.
I mean, the day they signed him, I was like, thank gosh, a legit floor spacer. We haven't had a legit floor spacer since my man Danny, aka Club Rio. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not no hate on Patty, no hate on Bren, but Danny was a legit guy you had to worry about. Dougie you have to legit worry about them. But what do we know about our enemy, Rob? What do you think about these Lakers, man? Because my Twitter timeline has written them off. my timeline has written, besides the like 10, 12 Laker fans I have on my feed, anybody that's not a Laker fan on my timeline has said, no, this ain't gonna work. It's over. They'll be lucky to win 44 games. It's over. Westbrook will be traded before the deadline. Everybody's written this enemy tonight off. What do you think?
Well, let's play our restaurant quality sounder, shall we?
Let's go.
Inside the training room.
I hurt myself today.
In the training room, the Spurs are in pretty good shape. Well, no, we use that one. We'll dive right into that one.
We'll do training room.
We still don't have Zach Collins. We expect to see him in December. What's the two-way player?
Devontae Kaycock.
Fine two-way pickup. Will has not reported, but training camp doesn't start for the Austin Spurs until tomorrow, as Karl just told us. So no
G
surprise.
League training camp starts today.
Oh, so I saw the G League had a draft. Keaton Wallace was drafted in the second round of the G League yesterday, and then I saw old San Antonio former UT Longhorn Alexis Wangmane was drafted.
Yeah. Alexei Wangmini.
It's Wangmini. That's how you say it. We always said Wangmane when he was at Central.
Pretty sure.
I'm not claiming it. I'm just saying. I remember when he arrived at Central Catholic, R.C. Buford's kid.
Oh, that's right.
It didn't work out very well.
Yeah.
So no, he went to Alamo Heights. Heights wouldn't take him.
They're
He
like,
ended up at Central
nah,
Catholic.
sorry.
And he ended up at the University of Texas. Played basketball there. How is he still available for the G League draft? Dude's. That would have been 10 years ago.
Anybody's really available
Yeah.
for the G League draft. I suppose there's a bunch of people who put their name in a pool, but like the Austin Spurs, I should say, drafted DeJuan Blair with the 6th pick 3 years ago, I believe. So DeJuan Blair actually spent a season in Austin. They drafted him and brought him back.
Did he play?
He played.
I don't even remember that. Did you know that? DeJuan Blair was on the Austin G League team 3 years ago?
He was a rotation player. He didn't start or anything like that, but he got minutes. Maybe not a full-time rotation player, but he got some rotation minutes.
He got paid. That's all that matters, I
He's
guess.
never recovered from kicking somebody. Was it in the face?
Oh, man, I didn't hear about this.
No, remember with the Mavericks series?
Yeah.
Oh.
You remember that?
I guess so, yeah. The cheese. It's been a long
Yeah,
time
it's been
since
a while.
DeJuan Blair was on the Spurs.
So we don't have any significant injuries to be
injuries.
concerned with early on. The
Thank
Lakers,
goodness.
on the other hand, are dealing with a banged-up LeBron. We saw him get landed on. He was going to go through 24 hours of rehab, 7 days a week to get himself back. As it sits today, he is expected to start, though that could actually change.
Game time decision.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, game time to me always
it's expected to
they're
start.
playing.
Although early in the
LeBron.
season, it would not surprise me a bit. Now, as far as knowing your enemy, the Lakers, the mess that the Lakers are, I think it's just a matter of new dudes. Let's hear the sound. I want to hear this.
Is this a know your enemy sound?
We spent like thousands of dollars.
Know your enemy.
To pay ASCAP fees. I'd like to thank them for allowing us to use their music.
Thank you.
Thank you, Green Day. So the story is, of course, not LeBron and Anthony Davis. It's the new dudes, right? It's Russell Westbrook, who just doesn't seem to fit
Westbrook.
yet.
It's just Westbrook. That's
Carmelo goes off the other night. He went off and
like
got some
7
buckets.
threes. Yeah.
I'm not sure if it was in the flow of the offense, but certainly they needed it. It was in a loss, though. We did see a little scuffle between Dwight Howard and Anthony Davis. Now, do we know why?
I think Dwight got on him about a defensive assignment, and I'm sure Anthony was like, dude, it's game 2. Leave me alone. But I think those confrontations can either be great or they can ruin you. I mean, we saw with Draymond and KD, it ultimately drove KD out, right? So, but sometimes I think you have to have those conversations. Like, you have to have those conversations. You have to hold everybody accountable. And AD coasts. He coasts. That's a fact. Just watch Anthony Davis play. He coasts. There's some games where Anthony's just like, dude, we got a lot of games. And game 2 was one of them, and Dwight called him on it, and it didn't end well.
I love to hear that.
Me too.
I'm
all
excited
for
for Dwight Howard to step
I'm all
up
for
and be
that.
a leader.
I'm all for that. But again, it just depends on who you're doing it to. But it seemed like they talked it out afterwards. But this boils down to, will Westbrook do what Dwayne Wade did, do what Kyrie Irving did, do what Anthony Davis did. Will Russell take the back seat?
Can he? Does his game, the way he is successful, can he take a back seat?
I don't think he can. So then it comes back to what is he this year? 6. Then it comes back to number 6. Does number 6 say, you know what? I can play off the ball. I have played off the ball.
Right.
To sacrifice for the betterment of this team, Westbrook, here are the keys. Because I don't think it's Westbrook has never played off the ball. That's why it didn't work with Paul George. It didn't work with James Harden. Ultimately drove KD to Golden State. Westbrook, he's not capable of it. It's not like he's a bad guy or he's a bad teammate. It's just that's what he does. So will LeBron say, okay, your ship, run the show, or will Vogel stagger them?
That's the question. Does Vogel have the locker room control
to stagger them? Like, hey, you know what? I'm going to play y'all opposite of each other. Like when Bron's out, Westbrook, it's your turn.
A little bit of like we saw James Harden and Kyrie last year.
Yes.
They rarely played together. When they did, it was really cool to watch. Carmelo led the Lakers in their last game. They got 28 points off the bench from him. Anthony Davis had 22. LeBron had 19. Russ had 13 and 13, but it wasn't a pretty 13 and 13. But the assists, I'm sure they'll take it. Malik Monk had 12, and Bazemore added 11. So they did have roundabout scoring. The win they got against Memphis at home was pretty impressive. Memphis is a team that was feeling their oats. And
Ja missed the free throw to send the game to overtime. He was upset about that, and he went like for 40 and 10 that night.
LeBron is day-to-day, as we just talked about it. Spurs hold a 90-87 overall average with the Los Angeles Lakers, including a 53-37 advantage in games played in the Alamo City. So they do have a home winning record. I did not know that.
Me neither.
My memory of those mid-'80s Lakers teams where we never beat those guys.
It's just, you got to remember, from 2012 up until maybe last year, the Lakers were bad. Well, up until LeBron first got there. Lakers missed the playoffs and were below 500 for 7 years. So Spurs stacked up some wins against them there.
Well, make sure we get you ready all day long, halftime and the blitz. The Spurs going off tonight. We'll talk some football when we come back. Look forward to a great a college football weekend. We got some tickets to give away too. I'm giving away a family 4-pack to the corn maze down there at Traders Village when we come back. So gather your friends, huddle around your device. We might be you might win them next. Hang around. This is R&R in the Morning, and you're on San Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Score $1,000 now into the winning keyword, FALL, F-A-L-L, FALL at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Are you looking for a job where you can have tons of fun and make great money? Twin Peaks is the team for you. We're looking for Twin Peaks girls, cooks, bussers, barbacks, and more. Text WORK 4TP to 85000 to apply. That's WORK, the number 4TP to 85000 to apply.
Welcome to Texas, where the sun is beaming down and can damage the interior of your car, even in lower temperatures. Unless you go to Mother's Window Tint, home of the Tint and Alarm Special, where you can also buy a new car stereo since 1984.
1984? That's impressive.
Mother's Window Tint has tinted cars and trucks to stop the sun from damaging their interiors. Texans like dark privacy window tint. Come to Mother's and get some. Legal and guaranteed a lifetime. Remember to protect yourself and your family. Buy an alarm today from Mother's. Starter kill, remote start, GPS locator, 24-hour live monitoring. Save $100 on the tint and alarm package of your choice. San Antonio and Austin stores. motherswindowtint.com.
Remember, do it at Mother's and save!
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price to have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Your source to local news and sports in San Antonio begins with the San Antonio Express News. We've collected, written, and shown the stories that matter most to San Antonio. Look no further than the San Antonio Express News to continue to provide information and strength to the community. Whether it's on the field or on a court, we provide the ground local coverage. Go to expressnews.com for the most up-to-date high school and college sports coverage. Subscribe today at expressnews.com.
Did you know the arrow in Amazon's logo represents A to Z? Maybe the My Computer Career logo should represent unemployed to employed. Ryan was out of work when he started classes in March. In September, he started his IT career, working for Amazon, making more money than he ever thought possible. Here's a prime opportunity. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. You could start your new life as an IT pro in as little as 4 months. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
Today's pros need today's tools, and nobody understands that better than the Home Depot. Our app makes it simpler to get supplies ordered and delivered. Our online project calculators cut guesswork and last-second supply runs. Job site delivery puts what you need where and when you need it. And rental puts the right equipment in your hands, but not your overhead. That's how today's pros get more done. New tech, new tools, old-fashioned hard work. The Home Depot, how doers get more done.
Get your share of 20K 12 times a day. It's the Big Score. Listen each hour weekdays between 7 a.m. and 6 p.m. for the winning word. When you hear it, enter it at sasportstar.com. You could win $1,000. Complete rules at sasportstar.com. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Karl Schoening on your home for Texas Rangers baseball. San Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R in the morning. He's Rudy, I'm Rob. Running and road tripping.
Yeah, buddy.
So what's your preferred road trip snack? We're going to spend some time together in the vehicle today. Tell me it's not Funyuns and
No.
Okay,
I'm a popcorn guy.
In the car?
Popcorn and water.
And water.
Yeah. Not too much because I don't like to pull over. I hate to stop.
Do you have to stop at Buc-ee's? Is that a
when the kids,
yeah,
with the kids I do, but like if it's just my wife and I, we skip Buc-ee's. But
problem is it's too close.
Yeah, my kids are like, stop. And dude, you go in Buc-ee's, you can easily walk out spending a C note.
You go into Buc-ee's, you see those people pushing around like a grocery cart. Like, what on earth are you buying?
Exactly.
It's basically the same stuff over and over. It's just
with
big.
me, I end up with a towel, a beaver. It's like all this random stuff. 3 slushies, a coffee.
Have you ever bought a shirt or sunglasses? I never have.
My kids
like
have
a Buc-ee's shirt.
My kids have all types of Buc-ee's swag.
Oh, that's cool. I know that people collect that. I just never have.
I don't. They can't find it. If I told her, hey, go get all that stuff we got you from Buc-ee's, she has no idea where it's at. But she wants to stop every time. Like on the way and then on the way back, I'm like, dude, one or the other. We're not stopping both. You're crazy. But they do got good gas prices.
Yeah.
So
clean bathrooms.
Ice is cheap. Gas is cheap.
But they do have a Cajun shrimp boil machine.
Oh, really?
That I would like to get, but I'm not I'm not going to drive all the way to Buc-ee's to get that kind of stuff.
No, absolutely.
I guess if I lived close to Buc-ee's, I'd go, and it'd become a place that I would shop. But whenever I'm there, I'm just amazed that people are like shopping for clothes.
Yeah,
like I'm here.
I don't understand the cart.
Yeah, I'm here to get to the bathroom to get something to eat and get the hell out of here. I'm not trying on in the try-on room.
No, yeah, all types of stuff in there that can get you for your money. But yeah, so
we're leaving today. We're going
jerky. Oh yeah, pledge jerky. You're not a big jerky guy.
I like beef jerky. It's just not. I'm not I don't go buy beef jerky. I'll eat beef jerky if it's
like
offered,
if someone is around.
But I cannot recall ever buying beef jerky in my entire life. Though I've had a lot of it. I guess I've been around people that like it, but I've never gone give me I wouldn't know what to buy.
You know what? Their kolache game is strong. Their bucket, and you get it warmed up. Their kolache game is strong.
I have to say that I don't like their kolaches. I think that their dough is too sweet.
Are you a kolache snob?
No, I'm really not. There's just I've only had really legit highway kolaches. You know what I mean? I'm 35,
right?
And that's from the legit kolache stop in West.
Yeah.
And the Buc-ee's are a little bit different. They're not the same. So I was used to that kind.
Right by my house off Calibre, they have a place called Kolache Factory.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Decent.
Well, someone explain to me what exactly a beaver nugget is.
A beaver nugget is just...
Is it like the Post
it's
cereal? Is that what that is?
It's popped sugar.
That's
it's a big ball. It's a bunch of balls of sugar.
Because I've never had it, though. Everybody seems to want to stop and get it.
That's definitely the law of diminishing return with that.
Oh, yeah.
Like your first handful, you're like, wow. Second handful, wow. Third, you're like, oh God, I don't feel so hot. You know what I mean? It's just like it's cool the first couple handfuls. Then you're like, yo, this isn't it. This is not the move.
There's one just out of San Antonio, and then there's just one on the other side of Katy.
Yes.
So both ways, it's not an opportune. It's too soon out of Houston, and it's too soon out of San Antonio, and then it's too close to San Antonio.
Right. And now they have one in Temple when you're going 35.
I think there's one in Lockhart.
Luling
is where it
Yeah,
is.
that's what I'm talking about. And it's too close to San Antonio. I feel like I just left. Still got a full tank. I just left San Antonio like 30 minutes prior. So there's no reason to stop. I've already gone.
Only reason to stop is to buy stuff you don't need.
And I've already got snacks. And then by the time I get to the one in Katy, I'm too close to Houston. I don't want to stop there either.
Right.
There's a place along I-10. I think it's called Parsecs. It's sort of like a one of these Buc-ee's. It's not bad at all.
I know the one you're talking about. That's not the one in Schulenburg, is it?
No idea what town it's in.
Don't speed through Schulenburg. That's the
is it one of those towns?
That is a words to live by. In the we'll have Sean stop by here.
Is Sean coming?
Oh no, he stopped by, and I don't think. Oh, he will be.
He said he's coming.
He couldn't make it yesterday.
No.
Before we go out, if you had,
I don't know why my iPad just collapsed on me right now. Like, what the heck is
to
going
invest
on?
in some. It's like an earthquake over here.
Damn.
If you had been given Tom Brady's 600th touchdown football, and you gave it back, what would be proper compensation? What would you want to get in return, knowing that ball on the open market, if Jordan's shoes from his rookie year were worth 1.6, what is the Tom Brady's 600th touchdown ball worth?
Well, according to the experts, is worth $500,000. But now keep in mind, you're at the game, you're going crazy. Tom is blowing the Bears out of their minds. They hand you the ball, and you're like, "Oh, cool, I got a ball." Then some guy comes over to you and says, "Hey, I need that ball back, 600. It's the 600 touchdown. Can we get that back? We're gonna take care of you." You're not thinking right then, like, let me call my memorabilia guy and see what this is worth before I give it back. First of all, I'm giving it back.
Does he have a right to it? Would we have the right to be angry with the fan who had the ball and said, "No, I'm not giving it back. Mine."
I think half the country would be mad, and then the other half would be like, I don't blame them. Because everybody that I've talked to has said, there's no way I give it back.
In baseball, you show up with a mitt. You show up with a glove to catch the ball.
Right.
You're supposed to, I don't think there's a lot of
expectation. Would you give it back, Rob?
No.
Are you being serious right now?
I'm very serious. I wouldn't have. I bought a ticket.
Mike Evans gives you the ball.
Mike gave me the ball in celebration. That's just found money.
Now, he got a Bitcoin out of it.
He did. And
they gave him season tickets for the rest of the year.
I'm not saying that I would take full face, but, a little something for the effort. So he got a Bitcoin.
That's about 66 grand,
he
64
got free
grand.
Tickets to the rest of this year and free tickets for next year.
$1,000 to the gift shop.
$1,000
they gave him a different game ball.
So he got another. But see, that ain't a $500,000 ball. See, it sounds like he got a lot, but he's not even close.
I would have given it back, and then I would have got home. My wife would have found out what it was worth, and I would have been in trouble. Because it's like, I didn't think it was worth $500K because he's going to throw 100 more touchdowns.
Well,
so how is the 600
going to get 700 touchdowns?
He's talking about playing until 55, Rob. He's throwing 30 a year. That's 3 more years. He's going to throw. So, I mean, if he ends up throwing 676, why is the 600th one worth anything?
Well, you don't hold on to it for long.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm like, so how is this one worth $500K if he's going to throw 50 more touchdowns?
Those crazy Patriot fans, they'll buy anything. I think I know that I wouldn't have given it back. Now I might.
Are you dead serious?
I'm being very serious. You got other mementos.
But the thing is, what if you don't know that you're giving back the 600? Do you think the trainer went over there and told him, hey, that was a milestone ball?
We all knew. We all knew.
Well, see, we knew watching TV.
Well, did they announce it at the game? I don't know. Probably not.
No.
They probably did.
Mike Evans was so locked in that he obviously didn't know.
But I think they put it on the screen. Like, Tom,
if I'm a fan, I probably knew. Now, Evans, I wouldn't have expected him to know. You got a game going on. They probably didn't talk about it. But if I'm a fan and the touchdown and they probably scrolled, that's Tom Brady's, and then Evans hands me the ball. I don't think that doesn't seem morally bad to me.
Okay, so it's like this. So if you lose your wallet for whatever reason, you have $500 cash on you. God gives you your wallet back with the cash in it. Are you giving him money?
Yeah, a little something for the effort.
Really?
Yeah, I'd offer. Now the guy who gives me a wallet back with $500 probably wouldn't take it, but I would still offer. I don't think I would take it.
Yeah.
Look, I just found your wallet. I don't need any money.
Yeah, I don't want your money.
But I would offer. But
I just feel like you feel like Tampa or Tom should have got him closer to the $500K.
No.
You think that was enough?
I think they did win out. I mean, it's part of this deal. If the ball lands in the stands in every other sport, there's no discussion. It's mine.
Right.
Do you check the PSI on it, make sure that's played in properly?
That's the other thing. It's going straight to the lab to make sure it hasn't been doctored. But no, I don't think that whoever had it should be looked at poorly for not giving it back. And I appreciate that Brady's giving him something. I know that you want that milestone, but dude, that's part of the social contract of being a fan. The ball comes in the stands, you get to keep it, especially that.
Props to him though, because he seemed like super cool about it. He was smiling. They shook hands. He didn't seem upset about it.
And he's at minimum 67 with the Bitcoin and $1,000 toward the gift shop.
Hold that Bitcoin.
But what can you do? Well, I mean, how much Tampa Bay gear can you have?
$1,000 doesn't go too far in those stores.
It's like four jerseys. Yeah, it's like 4 game jerseys. I mean,
would you have kept it, Karl?
I would have negotiated. I wouldn't have given it on faith and saying, well, we'll take care of you. I would have been like, no, make it 3 Bitcoin. I know
you want 180?
Well, even if it's $500,000, even if it was coming in at $500K, and I got pretty good assurance that that's what I was getting, you know what? I'd put it up for auction. Guess what, Tommy?
You can get it from
TB12 gets $250,000 in your favorite charity, and I'm keeping $250,000. He's still ahead of the game with instead of $67 and $1,000 to the.
I think Tom just wants it for his trophy room.
No, I understand that you want it, and like Karl said, I'm open to offers. But part of the deal is I get the ball, I get to keep it.
It's a little different than like a milestone home run baseball because that's going in the stands no matter what. Not too many footballs go into the stands, and that's on Mike Evans. So it should have come out of Evans' pocket, not Tom Brady's.
I know, right? But Mike, did you see Mike's face when they told him? He was like, what? He was shocked, like, oh my God, I did what? So it's a crazy story, man, but props to that guy. He was super cool about it.
I'm not saying my views are right. I just know that I would hold on to it. I just feel like that's just part of the deal.
Like Siberian Sneak said, that's life-changing money. Yeah,
yes,
that's a great point.
And Tom,
that's a great point.
You can at least buy a house or two off
that.
Yes.
So, dude, just a little something that you're not even gonna miss.
I know.
But the market
you got
is 500.
You got 7 rings at home. 7. You need this ball too. Don't you have 100, 200, 300, 400?
He's the first one to hit 600-foot touchdowns, though. So
you know what? I think
pretty significant.
I think 500 is low. Now that I'm really thinking about it, 500K might be low. I think it may go from the way these dudes are. These dudes are crazy.
600 touchdown passes. Now we can joke about him going to 700. Ain't 600? That's the possibility of us ever seeing that happen again are infinitesimal.
Yeah,
just players don't play that long. They're playing longer.
Yeah, that ball might have got up to about $1 million.
If Jordan's game-worn kicks that he wore game 5 went for 1.6, And I think we can comparable to the GOAT. Well, I think we got two GOATs looking eye to eye. 500,000's low, especially if he retires at 625 or whatever. That 600 ball means something. And the NFL might even come buy it from you. I mean, museums pay for stuff all the time. So he was kind of giving it back for a Bitcoin and a gift certificate.
He has to sign it and put a little hashtag 600 on it.
Oh, that's the other part of it. Yeah.
And you're going to get a Tom Brady signed jersey or two.
Yeah.
He got out of this deal pretty solid. As opposed to not getting anything at all.
He's ahead of the game, but he could have been far more ahead, and I wouldn't even have looked sideways at him. He had the opportunity. He capitalized on it.
But there would have been people who were really upset with him.
Fine.
Had he kept that ball, there would have been people like, you don't do that.
What do you mean you don't do that?
Tom Brady might have killed you in your sleep and stolen the football
Tom
back.
would be a little concerned for about 15 minutes. He's got other stuff in his trophy case.
Yeah, Giselle.
There you go. There you go.
I'm sorry.
Astros are in the World Series. Let's see if they can turn this thing into a dynasty. Rudy and I look forward to that. Sean Rima will turn the corner. We'll talk. We haven't gotten to the Cowboys yet. What do you do with a Lael Collins? What do you do with a Lael Collins? What do you do with a Lael Collins? Early in the morning. Are you going to start this guy?
Hell no.
We'll figure it out. And the Spurs have a big game tonight. Lots to talk about in the 9 o'clock. Hang with us. It's going to be, you know what? Before we go. Almost let it slip away. I told people to wait.
Yeah.
I told them to lock it in, and we almost got away, and we're very much against it.
Let's get it.
So in this break, 656-3776, 656-ESPN. That's our Kia Bossa Bacon phone lines. You're quick if you want to go and take 4 or 3 others to the corn maze down at the beautiful Traders Village. Be caller number 4 right now. 656-3776, 656-ESPN, and you're going to the corn maze. Run from Malachi. This is San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Texas Cheer Liquor. 4 locations, 2 of them on Petranco, 1 across from Walmart, 1 past 211. The third one, which just had their 1-year anniversary block party at Highway 90 in Montgomery, and the 4th at the Patron Plaza next to Walmart off of Palo Alto. Your one-stop shop for beer, wine, liquor, and cigars. Won't be doing much of that today. We got to drive back, so I don't know how much Texas cheering we're gonna be doing today. But nonetheless, you should be. It's the World Series. You got Lakers, Spurs. Get out to Texas Cheer Liquor today, gang. Go get you a 6-pack. Go get you a little small bottle. Go get you a little 5th. I don't know. 5ths are weird. Even if you don't drink much, a 5th is weird. You just look like a wino getting a 5th. It's just weird. Paper bag. I don't know. But anyway, if you do want a 5th, they have it at Texas Cheer Liquor. And if they don't, they can order it for you. Yingling, Ranch Waters. I mean, you name it, they have it all, especially out there at number 3. Number 3 is so huge. And he was bringing in his holiday shipment when we were out there this past Thursday. And the holiday shipment, it is large. So they got it all. Texas Cheer Liquor, 4 locations. Go to TexasCheerLiquor.com, see for yourself, or download the Texas Cheer Liquor app.
San Antonio Sports Star Pro Football Pick'em. Online at sasportsstar.com. Can you pick the perfect matchups all season long? If so, you could win $50,000. Weekly winners score gift cards to Pinkerton's Barbecue in the Mellow Mushroom. For official contest rules and to play, visit sasportsstar.com. Must be at least 21 years old to play this nationwide contest. One winner will be selected at the end of the season. The Pro Football Challenge from San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
Whether you're vaccinated or not, it's important to know the symptoms of COVID and its variants. Fever is the leading sign of COVID and the flu, so make sure you use an accurate thermometer. Only the Exergen Temporal Scanner Thermometer has been proven accurate with more than 100 clinical studies. Non-contact thermometers have no clinical evidence behind them and are not reliable. Be vigilant and seek medical advice at the first sign of fever. Learn more at Exergen.com.
Did you know there's dust floating around your home?
Really?
Yeah. Dust starts on hard surfaces like shelves and ceiling fans. And when you walk by, dust starts to move, compromising the quality of the air you and your family breathe.
So, what do I do?
Get Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster. Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster is the fast and easy way to trap and lock dust.
Before it gets into the air.
Exactly. So you can just... Swiffer Heavy Duty Duster, proud partner of the American Lung Association.
Here in Texas, the heat is relentless. The storms are serious. And the hail is insane.
Texas weather doesn't do anything halfway, and neither should your roofer. Your roof protects your home and your family. So whether you need a simple repair or a roof replacement, metal or composition, you need a roofer you can trust. That's Stevens Roofing. They are reputable, reliable, and have always been your local roofer. Call Stevens Roofing today for a free estimate at 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
R&R in the Morning, sitting with Jason Thompson. A lawyerforus.com is his website. 210-900-0400. 210-900-0400. Jason Thompson. I'm curious. I was in a car accident, but I wasn't the driver. I was just a passenger. Do I need a lawyer too?
I think anytime you are injured in an automobile collision, whether you were the driver, a passenger, the guy in the back seat, know this, that when insurance is involved, every insurance company I have ever heard of has a staff of lawyers on staff right now. As soon as that collision happens, whoever caused it is represented by an attorney. And if you think you're going to alone beat an insurance company's team of lawyers, you're sadly mistaken. The first thing you do is call me.
Jason Thompson, a lawyerforus.com, 210-900-0400. 210-900-0400, a lawyerforus.com.
At AT&T, everyone, new and existing customers, get our best deals on every smartphone. Why? Because you deserve it. For turning your living room into your office and your gym. For teaching grandma how to video call and teaching her again.
It's the button on your left, Nana. Okay, your other left.
It's not complicated. Everyone deserves something new. So AT&T is giving everyone, new and existing customers, our best deals with every unlimited plan on every smartphone, even the latest ones.
AT&T may temporarily slow data speeds if the network is busy. Restrictions and exceptions may apply.
Progressive Motorcycle presents Road Wisdom from the Motorhome. Ride confidently in the direction of your dreams. Unless it's a bad dream, then turn around. Go the other way. Progressive Motorcycle also presents basic policy starting at $79 a year. Progressive Motorcycle, for those who were born to ride. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates. Annual premium for basic liability policy is not available in all states.
So as you guys know, Mark's gone.
The float artist at Fred's Floral just took off, days before the parade. They need a replacement before business passes them by.
And who am I going to get to finish the float?
Indeed can help them hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
O'Reilly Auto Parts specializes in keeping your car on the road. Not sure how much life is left in your battery? Our professional parts people will test it for free. If it does need to be replaced, we'll help you find just the right one to fit your car. Our Superstar batteries are built to handle even the toughest conditions. Visit O'Reilly Auto Parts today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. From the Mother's Window Tint Studio, one team, one mission, KZDC, San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Rob Thompson, Rudy J, R&R in the Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Is it 9 already?
9:07 in the blessed AM. We're going to take you all the way to 10 o'clock. He's Rudy J. I'm Rob Thompson. Big day. World Series begin. The Astros and Braves go off tonight. You can catch the entire series right here on San Antonio Sports Star. Pre-game will get going at 6. The Blitz will lead you right there. Have games 1 and 2 right here. Games 3. Game 3 we will have on, game 4 we'll have on Saturday night. On Friday night, we will not have the Astros. We'll be playing some football.
We have a better broadcast, Rudy and I.
Yes. Fridays are for, that's right.
Johnson and Reagan, Karl and Rudy.
Jason Minnick's be in the hole on Friday. I'll be leading y'all into that.
Yeah, Minnick's always traveling. Are you doing the Blitz Friday?
I assume, unless you want to do it. Thought we'd talk about that on the road.
See, that's how you get somebody. You just say, hey, man, Rudy, I'm thinking, you want to do the Blitz Friday?
I'll
be at the stadium already anyway.
We might have
figure
some
it out.
fantasy gods sitting in on Friday. Astros tonight taking on the Braves. We'll get there. We'll talk a little bit about the Spurs. We'll hear from Jeff Traylor. Great interview that Jason Minix had yesterday with Jeff Traylor as the news broke that Texas Tech was on the hunt for a new coach, and Jeff Traylor certainly seems to fill the bill.
Mm-hmm.
And Traylor says he planned on it. He knew it was coming. Told his players.
He said,
I'm only as good as the Jimmies and Joes. It's not about X's and O's. And when people come to me, it's because of you, is what he said. But he did not say he would not listen.
Yeah.
He did not shut it completely down. And who would?
Jason was like, hey, did your phone get a receive any calls from the 806 today? And it's like, no, my phone did not. He didn't say it. He didn't stress my phone, but he said, no, my phone did not receive any calls from 806.
He has that Texas accent. He's like, I didn't get it on my phone.
On my phone? Mm-hmm. Now, I do have an agency that is tasked with making me a lot of money. And if they do that, I give them a little bit of money.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll take the calls. What are the Dallas Cowboys going to do here?
Let's talk about it, Rob, because this is go ahead. Set it up.
McCarthy inherited Lael Collins. Lael Collins was a gift.
Mm-hmm.
The guy should not have been available to draft when the Cowboys did, but he was in the middle of a mess, a murder investigation that he was later exonerated of. He had nothing to do with, but because of that, he fell so the Cowboys could grab him, and he has been a solid, if not spectacular, right tackle for the Dallas Cowboys. Spent last year out after a car accident and a variety of injuries, and we missed him. I mean, that hurt without him and Tyron Smith. So this year, as the Cowboys turn the corner and look like they are bound for better things than we've seen in a decade, in the middle of all the COVID and everything else, he misses a variety of drug tests. Now, keep in mind, marijuana is not a substance that will get you off the field. It is still being tested for, but you can test positive and they put you in the program, but you're not going to be penalized or suspended for marijuana anymore.
Test, right?
And you go into whatever program they have behind the scenes. So he avoided those tests. And when you miss that, now you start thinking, okay, why are you missing tests? Was it another drug that you're ashamed of? Was it a PED that you're trying to hide? Or as Lael Collins said, look, it was COVID. I just missed some tests. I wasn't around when the testing happened. And then when it did happen, it turns out he tried to pay the tester, at least allegedly, to either take some fake or different urine. I don't know exactly what. So he gets suspended more than he would have if he'd have just shut up. It was going to be 2 or 3. It turned into 5 because he tried to pay off. So he returns. Hadn't been missed at all, at least on the field by the layman's eyes. I don't think the Cowboys have missed Lael Collins once. Now, I'm sure they have. As good as Terrence Steele has been, the undrafted free agent who had to step in last year and now fill the bill, certainly earned it for a lot less.
Look, it'd be one thing if you're 2-2 over these last 4 games. 2-3, 1-4. You've won 5 games in a row. Why do we? And then forget Lael. Why would you change anything?
They're in.
Why would you change anything? It's a great problem to have. Depth in the offensive line is huge, huge. But my thing is they've already gotten used to playing with each other. Dak has gotten used to playing with them. I don't understand why you would go back to Lael at this point. But, I mean, I guess if you put the tape side by side, is his tape better than Steele's?
Well, he's a Pro Bowl caliber right tackle.
Right.
But I think Terrence Steele has done everything he needs to do to be a starter. He was thrust into it last year when there was no returning from Collins. Collins has been a Cowboy. He started 48 games at right tackle.
Okay.
Moving from guard in 2017, and he's been a Pro Bowl caliber player when he's healthy. His offensive line coach likes him. McCarthy likes him. Philbin likes him. But, when you're starting to build a culture, there's...
See, but this is the thing. Like you said, though, shouldn't he be benched just because of... Not benched, but like, you haven't been here. Isn't that a part of it?
Actions have consequences, and in this particular case, one consequence was missing 5 games. The next one is your replacement performing well enough to probably not get your starting role back.
I agree with you, Karl, that there are consequences. You stepped off the field, and guess what? Next man up, and it worked. 14 games the Terrence has started, and it started out as a nightmare. Now, granted, you were hurt the first time Terrence had to play. This time you were stupid.
It says, someone says, move him back to left guard.
Well, that's the other part. And as we look at this offensive line, left guard is a bit of a problem.
See, I didn't know. Like, again, I don't watch the Hogs as closely as some of y'all. But I didn't because they played so well. I didn't know. I mean, Zeke's running the ball well. Pollard's running the ball well. Dak is upright. The numbers are great. I had no idea left guard was a problem. Are we nitpicking here, or is left guard really an issue?
Well, Connor is not.
Oh yeah.
I think the center's
been more an issue than the left guard.
But you can really protect the center with a guard the caliber that La'el Collins offers. But there is also the ongoing and never-ending concern with Tyron Smith. He had an MRI in his neck just a week and a half ago. So having a La'el Collins is a tremendous benefit, especially one that's on the sideline staying healthy instead of one on the field. And I think McGovern's earned so far, but it is a worthy question. And it's not so much about play, but it's about what is the culture like on your team? What are you expected from players off? And one of the things I would not expect from one of my players is trying to pay off the urinalysis dude.
That's what I'm saying.
If you do that, what else would you do? So it is a bit of an RPP. And now, and the trade deadline is coming up, and I am certainly not advocating, nor am I saying that they should trade La'el Collins. But when you have that, great teams capitalize, or any successful business capitalizes on their assets, uses their assets to the betterment of their company. And sometimes you get rid of a great asset for the benefit of another asset, or maybe you get more in return because maybe it'll allow Terrence Steele to fully flower and become that right tackle for, a third the price, at least for another couple of years.
But then the other part of me is like, you paid him. That means he does his job well. How do you have a guy that good making that kind of money sitting over there waiting on someone to be injured? So that's the other part of my brain that's like, do I really want to bench La'el Collins?
Okay, so let's take it in another step. Say he doesn't play, and there's also the viable argument that, look, man, he missed 5 games. How good a shape could you possibly be in? It's been a month and a week since you've even been in. Well, he came back to the locker room a week ago. So it was a month.
He lost a lot of weight coming into this season. Remember when we saw him in Oxnard? You were like, dude, he is smaller.
He'd had thinned down. And you wonder if he's been able to maintain that. And that'll come down to Joe Philbin and McCarthy deciding, is he going to actually fit? And having the warm body is certainly going to help. It's an RPP. It's one of those things that I don't expect any kind of move. But I do think if you're a young player on the Cowboys, you're watching the coach. You're watching to see what McCarthy and Philbin do, because if I'm a young player and I get a chance due to injury or ignorance or stupidity to play, and I play well enough, what happens when that guy comes back and I've been playing equal to? How are you going to treat me?
Yeah.
So I do think that there is a bit of a ripple effect here as McCarthy is trying to kind of set into place this long-term kind of, this is who the Cowboys are kind of situation, the foundation for the future. I think this plays a role in the long-term kind of stability of what are you going to stand? What are you going to put up with? Because as I tell any new parent, you're going to get exactly what you tolerate.
Yeah.
If you tolerate it, you're going to get it. And if you can't tolerate it, don't. And because if you tolerate it once, you're going to have to get used to it. Are we going to tolerate a guy?
I get that. Nail on the head.
And if you're going to tolerate a guy lying to a drug testing dude, what else are you going to tolerate?
I have a McCarthy Jason Garrett question at 9:30 I want to ask you.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's get to it, but let's get our headlines caught up.
So I said about 9:30. 9:30. I got a McCarthy Garrett. I've been pondering on this for a couple of days, and I'm finally ready to ask you.
Let's get it caught up on all of the headlines. They are stacking deep. He's got them. 411 and the 210. Let's do it.
Here's the 411 in the 210. Headline 2.
This one comes out of Green Bay, so make your fantasy adjustments accordingly as the Green Bay Packers place star wide receiver Devontae Adams on the COVID-19 list.
Yeah. Dude, Arizona, the rich get richer. They're already a great football team. Not great. I'm not going to use that word. Great football teams go to conference championships, win Super Bowls. Really good football team. It seems like it's all coming together, and then you get this gift. You don't have to worry, because even if he's asymptomatic, he still has to get 2 negative tests within next 48 hours.
And it's in Arizona, so that would make it tough for game day travel.
Right,
as well.
because I'm sure they leave, Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
So, But hell, if he gets 2 negative tests, they'll put him on. They'll put him in first class and send him.
Absolutely.
But the rich get richer, man. Arizona. But on your way to greatness, you need some luck along the way. And considering you know, with the Cowboys, the Packers, the Cardinals, the Rams, home field advantage is gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle. So I know people are like, oh, this is only week 7. No, this has repercussions for the divisional round. This has repercussions for the NFC Championship game because of home field advantage. But on your way to a title, you need to get lucky. And this is, if he's not able to play, that's a huge break for the Cardinals.
It is, but you know, Devontae's got a lot of yards, but not a lot of touchdowns. I mean, he's played a big role.
The chains.
He does. He's played a big role in this offense, but I don't think it hamstrings the Packers as much as a lot of people might think.
No. They can still win the game.
In fact.
And Aaron's going to take it personal. Aaron's going to be trying his hardest to win that game.
This is one of those games where the Cobbs of the world, his old boys, the ones that he called in and said he needed around. This is one of those games that he looks to those guys.
It's another Thursday night banger.
And Aaron Jones, man, I think he will be the pivot point on this game. How he goes is how the Packers. I like the Packers in this game. I like them even more without Devontae.
Well, that's because you still have question marks about Arizona.
A few, but I'm just about sold. I look at it more like I don't think it would be a disgrace. Just like when Buffalo lost a couple of weeks ago to, was it Tennessee? And I didn't view that as a disgrace. I viewed them losing to a team that was just a bit hotter, and now it's turned out it was right.
Yeah. Tennessee had 2 good wins in a row. They beat Buffalo, then they go into Kansas City and win.
And right now you have a supernova hot Aaron Rodgers right now. That's a hot quarterback. He is beating everybody and beating them easy. So I think it's a little bit tougher matchup. Even without Devontae, I still like the Packers in this. I do. I think that this is one of those signature moments that superstars go get. And young teams have to learn the value of being prepared for a game like this because on his own, Aaron Rodgers, it will beat you. You know, he can just come out and do it. And there's only 2 other guys in the league that will do that right now. And they're about to face him. And, you know, this is a classic trap game. You just found out the Packers' best wide receiver ain't going to play, or at least doesn't look like it. 2 negative tests.
That stinks, though. DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Adams, that would have been nice to watch. That stinks. Hopefully he can get off the COVID list, but I doubt it. It's going to be tough by Thursday.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it'll happen. But we're going to have another great prime timer. I hope I can stay away to watch it all after the next 24 to 36 hours. Moving on.
Headline 1.
Jimmy Garoppolo will remain the starting quarterback for San Francisco, even though he had his worst game last week.
First of all,
poor Trey Lance.
Not only, I mean, look, I know he's the low-hanging fruit. We're running by the pile, kicking Garoppolo in the head. Did you see that game? It was raining buckets. Yeah. Of course he had a bad game. Wentz played okay. Wentz wasn't lights out. It's not like Wentz was on the other side with 300 yards. I want to say Wentz was under 200. I think Wentz was under 200. I don't know. You fact check me on that, but
it wasn't.
I'm not going to judge him by his worst game when it's raining like that.
The thing with Garoppolo, it's still here. It's still the same thing. Is there any there? Does he do anything to elevate his team? He's a fine front runner. If everybody's playing well and the defense is getting sacks and Bosa's ripping arms off quarterbacks and they got a Mostert, getting ball in the flat. Yeah, Garoppolo is perfectly acceptable. Agreed. But here we sit. And you were outplayed by Carson Wentz, Garoppolo. You were outplayed. It wasn't by much, but you were. You just lost. I think it's not so much about his skill set. I don't think his guys rise their game up at all for him. I don't see anybody stepping up and doing something spectacular. Now, it could be that they just can't, but I can kind of see where Shanahan is now. That, you're paying you all this money and you are acceptable. I'm not saying you're not. We went to a Super Bowl, but they went to some point, you got to separate.
But you're right. They went to the Super Bowl when everything was clicking. They had 2 running backs that were phenomenal. The defense was lights out. Yes, everything has to be in line for Garoppolo to succeed.
So I can see Shanahan going, yeah, maybe, because
he's like, I guess so.
Yeah, maybe if everything looks good, we'll win. Right. He won't stop us from winning, but he certainly ain't going to carry us there. And at that point, you got to go, well, I got to start looking for somebody who can.
On paper, it doesn't look terrible.
No.
Here are the numbers on Garoppolo. 16 of 27 for 181 yards. He threw a touchdown, but he had 2 picks and 2 sacks.
See, that's Garoppolo in a nutshell.
And a torrential storm.
But those are the time. That's when you got to get a play from your guy. You know, we talked about Derek Carr early in the season. He needed that signature moment that could prove to his team and to himself, look, when it's required, I can, in fact, do this.
And he did that with the Ravens. And they've won 2 in a row. And he was 31 and 34 this past weekend. That's 2 in a row without Gruden. So was Gruden holding them back? Well, speaking of the Raiders, I know we're on a different topic.
No, but it's kind of the same scenario. Right. I'm not sure Derek Carr would have done what he did this weekend, but for the moment he had a couple of weeks back where he finally did it. He finally put the team on his back and won a football game. Jimmy G just doesn't seem capable of it, especially at home against a Colt team that is starting to feel their oats, but you're better. I mean, you should have beaten those guys, and he didn't do it. I can see Shanahan going, I know that my options aren't good, but at some point, if you're not going to separate, I'm going to go with a guy that I can try to teach to do it.
Right.
Moving on. And I don't like the 49ers at all.
Yeah, they've lost 4 in a row. It's nasty up there.
Headline 0.
Marshawn Lynch drops an F-bomb during ESPN's Manning cast of the Saints-Seahawks game last night. Lynch also said an FCC violation that starts with an S a number of times during his appearance with the Mannings. Coming out of a commercial break afterwards, Peyton offered an apology saying, I want to thank Marshawn Lynch. Not as wild about the language, but I want to apologize for some of that language. It's not what we're trying to do on this show. They did have him. I want to say he also admitted he had like 3 shots of Hennessy before game.
Yeah, but first of all, Manning, you should apologize for having him on because we know. Thinking? Because first of all, I love Marshawn. He's a gem. Like, take care of your chicken. Take care of your chicken. Like I love Marshawn Lynch. But Peyton, it's your fault. You know what you're getting with him. You know what you're getting with him. If you bring in Marshawn to talk to your high school team, it's going to be a lot of cursing. Okay. If you bring him on FC, like, look, Marshawn doesn't. He probably thought he was on some podcast. He don't know he's on ESPN. Marshawn just like, hey, that's Peyton. I'll talk to you, but I'm gonna be me. Peyton should have apologized for having him on, not apologize like, oh, we don't. And I think we make so much of curse words.
Yes,
curse
Let's
words
get
are
to
stupid.
the bottom of this.
Yeah,
right
curse
there.
words are stupid.
Because
like, it's
I
still like,
guarantee-
oh, you can't say that. I'm over it. It's 2021. What's a cuss word?
You're sitting on ESPN2.
Right.
And you have recall and you hit the button and you just land on TBS. You land on any movie that's showing at 9:00 at night. You're going to hear some cuss words.
Right.
It is a modern world. Why on live TV do we still flip out?
Exactly.
When somebody drops a bomb, like, oh my God, fines and all that.
Tommy heard the F word. He's ruined for life.
And why is he apologizing for, when they say, well, the lion went crazy and ate the lion tamer.
Right.
And they say the lion went crazy. And what did Chris Rock say? No, the tiger or the lion went lion.
Right.
Marshawn just went Marshawn. What did we expect?
What are we thinking?
So no need to apologize. I think Marshawn.
They should have known what they were. They should have known what they were getting.
Like, bring him on. He's going to get some.
That's their fault. We still have rules, and he's not supposed to do it. But to like, hey man, my bad. But I wouldn't be like all deeply like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. We just went on. We're not trying to do that on this show. Oh man.
I will say that last night was the first time I spent any extended time watching the Mannings.
Oh, okay.
And it was wonderful. It was worthy because I didn't care about the game.
It's good.
I'll watch that. But when you care about the game, you can't watch it because you're not getting any of the game.
You're not going to watch them on the Cowboy game.
No, but for last night, it was perfect. It was just enough of the game and everything that went along with it between Tom Brady. And at one point, Peyton Manning going, get Breeze on the phone. Not Drew Brees. Get Breeze on the phone. Let's talk about that. Only Peyton and those types get to talk to each other
Bird,
like that.
Tom Brady. All in one night.
Just remember, they work for Mickey Mouse still.
It's all true.
True.
They're all getting
Mickey.
paid by the mouse.
I always forget about Mickey.
And
You're right.
It is
You're
good.
right.
But Peyton Manning
right, Karl.
is must-watch television.
Yeah.
I am all for writing a letter to the FCC to, soften the rules, if not eliminate them entirely.
As one who's had to pay the price once or twice.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
I've
I've been saved by a variety of outstanding fast-fingered producers over the years.
Yeah, I've had some slip-ups
You just can't help it. Sometimes in the environment and in the what we talk about, passion overrides, and it happens. It's scary. It's absolutely
scary.
With that in mind, moving along.
7 second delay.
The 411 and a 210.
I know where it is. I check it every day.
Okay.
I check it every day, and then sometimes I double check it.
I'm just making sure now I think about it. Like, you haven't really had to deal with that with Rob and I've been pretty tame, but just making sure you know where the dump button
is.
It's mostly for callers. Because someone once said something that was really close. It started with the an M, but they didn't finish it off, and I was like, a little heart attack there.
Yeah.
No, it was lover instead of the F word.
Gotcha.
So it made me like, ooh,
You were scared.
We had
Hey,
somebody come on, and you never know with these callers. Oh no, it wouldn't have been on me, but I still got to hit that dump button. Mm-hmm. The station, it would have been on the station still.
Yeah. Some of the best Baptists I've known could burn
with
the
the best
Bible
of
with
it,
some of those words. I don't judge you by that. In fact, I almost judge you better. A well-placed curse word.
You know what? You're not perfect. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Hey, let's come back looking at our Spurs tonight and Astros tonight. A full plate of sports coming our direction on a good old Tuesday afternoon. We're glad you're starting your day with us. This is R&R in the Morning, and you are on San Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Sports bettors, I'm talking to you. Man, we got some plays tonight. The series is beginning, and every possible aspect and avenue of that game can be wagered on at BetUS.com. You ready for early NBA? You got the Spurs at home with the Lakers coming in. There might be some money there. Is LeBron going to play? 25 years in the business. That's BetUS's claim to fame, and it's a good one to hang on to. You've been around 25 years. It proves one very important point, that they have the integrity to pay you when you win, the longevity to be here tomorrow and be there the day after that. You need to know you're going to get paid. You also need to know you can play everything you want. MMA, golf, horses, esports, props, they're all there. To join is easy. 1-800-79-BET-US. You talk, they type. 1-800-79-BET-US. All you need to tell them is KZDC. And on that first deposit, you can get up to 200% in bonuses. That is free play money. Go there now. I don't care what book you're with, where you've been before. Come to BetUS.com. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's a reason they're America's favorite sports book. Join BetUS.com today. Start betting with them tonight. They're America's favorite sports book. BetUS.com. Enter KZDC. That's BetUS.com, where the games begin.
Sports Center is brought to you by Kielbasa Slow Crafted Sausage, available at your local grocery stores.
The wait is finally over, Astros fans. Tonight, Houston will host the Atlanta Braves at Minute Maid Park for Game 1 of the World Series. First pitch is slated for 7:09. All three Texas NBA teams are in action tonight, with the Spurs hosting the Lakers and the Rockets traveling to Dallas to face the Mavericks. Both of those games will tip off at 7:30. And the University of Texas men's basketball team landed the 18th ranked best player in the class of 2022 in a commitment from Dylan Mitchell. The 6'7" small forward is the second five-star commit for Texas, putting their current recruiting class in the top 20 in the nation. For San Antonio Sports Star, I'm Karl Schoening.
Injuries happen, so if you twist, pull, pop, or snap something, you need Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Dr. Espinosa treats all non-surgical orthopedic injuries and has same-day and next-day availability. Telemedicine services are also available. There is no reason to be in pain. If you are hurting, visit Dr. David Espinosa at TSAOG Orthopedics. Learn more at TSAOG.com. That's TSAOG.com, or schedule your appointment by calling 210-804-5490. Rock the Mic is back at Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar. Do you have what it takes to jump on the air with us at San Antonio Sports Star? Well, go to sasportstar.com now and upload your best take. Then join us next week at a Slackers near you. Wednesday, November 3rd, we'll be live at Slackers Medical Center. Thursday, November 4th at Slackers on Nacogdoches. You can even enter to win a pair of Dallas Cowboys tickets just for stopping through. Rock the Mic 2021, brought to you by Slacker Sports and Arcade Bar and in part by Jim Beam.
R&R in the Morning, sitting with Jason Thompson. A lawyer for us.com is his website. 210-900-0400. 210-900-0400. Jason Thompson. I'm curious. I was in a car accident, but I wasn't the driver. I was just a passenger. Do I need a lawyer too?
I think anytime you are injured in an automobile collision, whether you were the driver, a passenger, the guy in the back seat, know this, that when insurance is involved, every insurance company I have ever heard of has a staff of lawyers on staff right now. As soon as that collision happens, whoever caused it is represented by an attorney. And if you think you're going to alone beat an insurance company's team of lawyers, you're sadly mistaken. The first thing you do is call me.
Jason Thompson, a lawyer for us.com, 210-900-0400. 210-900-0400, a lawyer for us.com.
Oh, according to research, 82% of people will remember radio ads. So 82% of you listening will remember that this is an ad for ZipRecruiter. 82% of you will note that if you're hiring, ZipRecruiter finds qualified people for your job. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And 82% of you will remember that you can try ZipRecruiter for free, but you have to go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Yes, free. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Happy Hour is back at Twin Peaks. Monday through Friday from 2 to 7 p.m. Score sweet deals like $1 off all wine, liquor, cheap shots, and freezing cold 29-degree draft brews. With select apps available for $2, $4, and $6. Twin Peaks Happy Hour is the move.
Red 80! Broadcasting live from the 50-yard line. San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R in the Morning. Road trip in R&R. At 2 o'clock, Rudy and I are about to embark on an expedition. Now, had some Astros tickets fall into our laps.
Yep, falling out the sky.
It
out
really
the
did.
ESPN
They really did fall in. And Rudy and I are going to get in the car. We're going to drive to the game, and we're going to turn around and drive back. Then we're going to do a show.
Wow, I don't know what that's going to sound like.
Fresh from Minute Maid, right out of the juice box.
Heavily caffeinated.
Caffeinated, at the very least. I'm so excited. This is one of the few bucket list things in the sporting world that I have
not done this. And the way the crowd was rocking the other night, what was that? When they were closing out, I can only imagine what it's going to be like tonight.
Astros Braves right here. We'll be home for your World Series all the way through. Now, Friday programming note, you're going to have to find another source. You're going to have to find another source. We're doing football. Rudy and Karl will be on the game. You've got
Johnson and Reagan.
You got a little backyard battle going on there. That's going to be one of those rivalries. Sean Rima stepping in the door. How are you today?
Kind of blitzed it, but I'm here.
I'm glad you are. We've been running a little bit late ourselves today. So what's going on in the real world?
I don't want to talk about the real world. I want to talk about the World Series. You guys are.
We're heading out. We're going to take a
You're
picnic lunch. We are going to the game. I've never been to a World Series game.
Oh, that's so cool, man. I'm so happy for you.
Yeah, 25 years in the business, never been.
Me neither.
Let's pray for redemption, man. So, I want some redemption.
Now that's been the theory here. The theme
that's been
today.
The theme, right?
Can the Astros redeem themselves in the eyes of those that look at what they did or did not do, allegedly?
Right. I hope so. I was so sad because because they had just suffered Hurricane Harvey.
Right.
That's right.
And we were all pulling for the Astros. And when they won, I was just so happy. And it was so much fun. And then that happened, and it just really put a shadow over the whole thing. So I think they can.
I would like either they're going to put it to bed or they're going to own it. One or the other.
One or the other.
Put it to bed and say, we're not, and proof in the numbers when we're on the road or not. Or you come in like the Raiders of yore and say, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we cheated.
But
scoreboard. We all get paid. I got a better looking girlfriend.
And
I'm still traveling in the winter months. And what are you doing?
Right.
You bunch of
slaps.
And if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. I'm out there every day.
Well, one or the other. But I hope they win. And, I'd hopefully like to go to a game too. And somebody could give me some tickets. But I don't know anybody who could maybe.
Rob, you're going to be you're a wanted man in this business.
It's good to be the man. I'm always about the horse trading.
Yeah.
Maybe we can have some of those fancy chairs from the KTSA room.
Did give you a book of poems, Mr. Man.
In fact, you have given me literature. Yeah. I have been given authentic and real literature.
If you really go for some tickets. Anyway.
And you're not going to get the tickets. And it does no reflection on the poetry.
I know.
In fact, I even considered it. No, I promise you this. If there's enough, we're going.
Okay.
Promise you that.
I got to go now.
All right. Sean Ryan will be on KTSA. Rudy's going to be around. Rudy's going to be on the road today. So we'll pass up on that. It was good to have Sean drop by. So we were going to break. And you said, I've got a question regarding the Cowboys, McCarthy and Garrett.
Yes.
I'm eager to get the question.
So a lot of times when a coach has been around a team, he builds them up. Nick Saban had, LSU built them up. Boom, Les Miles comes in, wins. Tony Dungy builds up the Bucks. Boom. Gruden comes in, wins the title. Mark Jackson builds up the Warriors. Kerr comes in, boom, they win a title. McCarthy wins a title this year.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't Garrett kind of set the table?
Did Garrett do the scouting?
Well, this is a lot of these guys played under Garrett.
Mm-hmm.
Learned to become pros under Garrett. There's a few new faces, and one of the new faces that making a huge difference is Diggs. That's not under Garrett, but a lot of these guys played under Garrett, learned to be pros under Garrett, became professionals under Garrett, molded under Garrett. Are we going to give Jason Garrett any credit if the Cowboys were to win this year? Now, next year, that's off the tip. But this year, because 2020 was a wash, they win the title this year. Barry Switzer.
Oh, that's gravy right there.
But they had already won.
Yeah,
that's I won't count them. Should we give Jason any credit?
No, but he doesn't. This as an Eagles fan,
what?
I miss Jason Garrett as the head coach.
So
of the
then you
Cowboys.
say hell no.
I think they would be a solid 8-8 this season. Mike McCarthy is everything that Jason Garrett was not.
Absolutely.
Somebody willing to go for it on 4th and 1 on his own side of the field and then throw a challenge flag on the spot. McCarthy is the right kind of crazy to put the Cowboys in a winning position. I always thought that Jason Garrett was coaching not to lose.
I think that's a very valid point. But I do think the narrative did change over the last several years. Garrett, it wasn't about not going. Garrett went on 4th down. He would onside kick it. It wasn't like he was opposed to the risk. But there was this long-term, we're going to be even keel. Sometimes you got to be a little hyped. Sometimes you got to own it, both positive and negative. Right. And I do think that he's a good coach. I don't think that there was any problem with the X's and O's of the coaching. There never was. I mean, think about what they managed to do with Dak Prescott, a 4th-round draft pick from Mississippi State, who hadn't taken a snap from center and was thrust into starting. And where they go, 10-3? I mean, they had Garrett can coach. And a lot of times when you change coaches and your team is mediocre, it ain't about the talent. It's about the message. And I think that the Cowboys just weren't listening to Jason, and they needed a little bit more fire. They needed a little bit more in the locker room than Garrett was capable of offering. But his coaching got these guys better. Dak Prescott is better for playing for Jason Garrett. Zeke is better for playing with Jason Garrett. Jason may deserve
some credit if they won the title this year.
But you don't get the credit. Dungy got zero credit when Gruden won. Remember those were. He didn't get any credit. It was Gruden brought the fire, Gruden brought the pepper, and they played the Tampa deep defense that Tony Dungy, and they won. But Gruden brought something that Dungy didn't have, very much like McCarthy brings to the Cowboys, a little bit of fire.
I remember Dirk Nowitzki, after they won in 2011, telling everybody, Avery changed me. Avery helped me become a better defender, a better rebounder, be more aggressive. So, if that's, again, this year, I'm just speaking on this year, and then we're a long way away from that. But I was like, hey, man, maybe Jason deserves a little credit. Jason developed a lot of these guys.
I think he'll get the credit he's due in the output of the players, but ain't nobody going to look fondly back on the Garrett years and say, all the stuff that we did, it led to this. No, it was time for him to go.
They went to the playoffs. I mean, if not for Aaron Rodgers' insane throw on 3rd and a mile, they go to the NFC title game. And that's with Garrett.
And that was with Miles stepping out of out of bounds, some kind of weird call on that one.
So, hey, man. Y'all tip your cap to my guy Clapper. I won't say that on Friday when we talk to Mike McCarthy.
I think even McCarthy would acknowledge the fact that he got a team that was adequately coached. It wasn't about the X's and O's. It was about, poor play calling and, what was coming from other coaches and that, the even keel approach where sometimes you just got to play with your hair on fire. Sometimes you got to come out and do something crazy. As Karl just said, just crazy enough to get past Garrett. He'll never get the credit, but former coaches never do. Do they? Seriously, you were fired. And when you left, they got better because the message was different.
Now, your guy, Rock the Mic Champ, the original, RJ Ochoa, yesterday on with Minix, he was saying, at the time they were looking for a hire, they were talking, a lot of Cowboy fans wanted Rule.
Very much.
And he asked Minix, right now, knowing what look at what Rule's done, look at what McCarthy's done. He said, who would you have rather had? And Jason quickly said Rule. Minix isn't a big fan of McCarthy. He's been super critical of McCarthy because of his clock management, but he said he'd still rather have Rule.
It's hard to argue there because I think Matt Rule is a hell of a coach.
Right.
I really do. You're arguing amongst 2 A-level players. I mean, it's not a huge drop.
One guy's won a Super Bowl though, so that's why I was kind of confused at him saying.
Well, the separation is Matt Rule's coming from Rutgers and Baylor.
Right.
That's a big old separation between Rutgers and Waco. Then step into the deep end of the pool in Dallas. There's a lot more that goes along with being a Dallas Cowboy head coach than X's and O's. And McCarthy was the wise choice. Would Rule be the wise choice next time? Now that he's been on an NFL roster and done that, yeah. But Rule's a hell of a coach and is going to be very successful for a long time. I don't disagree with what Minix said, but the timing wasn't right.
Yeah, McCarthy's been baptized. He's been in a hostile environment in Green Bay. Had a high-profile QB. Like, I was shocked that Minix still would have went with Rule today.
Let's see what everybody says at the end of the season, however long that season goes.
I know, right?
Hey, we're going to put a bow on it. Look forward to halftime in the Blitz. Thanks for hanging with us. So much more to come. R&R in the morning on San Antonio Sports Star, ESPN AM 1250 and 94.5 FM. Yesterday morning, I had the great pleasure of broadcasting live from the beautiful offices of the Institute for Functional Health down on Ashby, real close to SAC. I think we decided that's in the Alta Vista neighborhood, whatever it is. Beautiful office right there. Spent several hours, had a full physical, had everything taken care of while I was there. And one of the things I do think that separates the IFF, and there's, 2 different sides of the house, but the whole idea is functional health, is they are, first of all, they are a primary care provider. If you're looking for one, need a new doctor, they handle everything from soup to nuts. And of course, the functional side of that, they focus entirely on functional health. How are you feeling? How is your body acting? Now, the primary reason so many of us feel bad is carrying too much weight. That is not a surprise. It's how you lose the weight that really affects your general outlook. And can you keep the weight off? That generally affects your long-term health. Dr. Torres has put together a program based in science, based in your medicine, on your medical history. You will not be on a one-size-fit-all program when you go to the IFF, a program put together to lose weight specifically tailored to your medical needs. You get the background of the medicine, you get the ongoing coaching of the great staff, and then you get the output. You see it at home. You see a lighter number, a smaller number on your scale. If you're dealing with all the things that go along with being overweight, don't blame it on age and just the weight. It's not just getting old. Yeah, it stinks, but there's other things involved. I talked about it yesterday. I've never been around a medical professional that is more eager to get you off medication than Dr. Torres. And he knows that your diet can play a tremendous role in how you feel in those medicines that you're taking. The first step to health is adjusting your diet, and there's many other steps. I'll tell you, I'm down nearly 40 pounds, and I've got more steps to take, but I could not be happier. I feel better today than I did 5 years ago. How many of you can say that? Everybody's different. You're not like anyone else. That's why the one-size-fit-all approach, the fad diets and the weight loss programs, they just don't last. Your body, your genetics, your condition is not like everyone else's, and why should it be treated that way? A program designed just for you is destined for success. All you need is the attitude. They provide the science. I want you to talk Dr. Torres, meet him. Here's the number, 210-468-1891. 210-468-1891. The number literally changed my life. I would like that for you. Check out their website, iffhealth.com. Lots of great info there, but you're not going to know it all until you have a chance to sit down free of charge with Dr. Torres and the great staff. Head over to the IFF, see what I know. It'll change your life, and I'm sure you'll thank me later.
Score $1,000 now. Enter the winning keyword, Cowboys. COWBOYS. Cowboys at sasportstar.com. Good luck from San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
O'Reilly. It's Super Start Battery Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. That means you can get up to a $25 gift card after mail-in rebate with the purchase of your Super Start battery. Return power, performance, and reliability to your car, truck, motorcycle, and more with Super Start batteries. Only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Score points with some of the boldest keto-friendly, protein-packed, and low-carb snacks out there. And with their new Southern Recipe Small Batch 6-bag variety pack, you'll get to choose a different flavored pork rind every time. Find Southern Recipe Small Batch at your local H-E-B, and you'll always have pork rinds ready to go. Southern Recipe Small Batch Pork Rinds. Be big, be bold, be adventurous.
Southern Recipe Pork Rinds.
For over 2 centuries, Jim Beam has been bringing people together. Now you can bring them wherever you go with friends and family. Introducing Jim Beam Highballs to go, refreshing and ready for sharing. Their classic highball and Beam and Ginger Highball are made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. They're a new take on a tradition, 7 generations in the making. Find Jim Beam Highballs to go at a store near you. Jim Beam Classic Highball made with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, natural flavors, and seltzer water. 5% alcohol by volume. Copyright 2020, James B. Beam Distilling Company, Claremont, Kentucky. Drink smart.
What does Airtron provide its employees? Stability, security, a sense of satisfaction at the end of each day. Airtron has immediate openings for HVAC service technicians and installers. Are you skilled with your hands? Do you have a high school diploma or equivalent? Have you attended tech school? Are you a self-starter who pays attention to detail but also enjoys being part of a winning team? If yes, apply today. Go online to airtronsa.com for employment opportunities. That's airtronsa.com. This opportunity is knocking.
The Fall Classic. The World Series lives here. Don't miss a pitch, stolen base, acrobatic catch, or home run.
It is gone.
The World Series from San Antonio Sports Star. ESPN 1250 and 94.5 FM.
This is Max Kellerman on San Antonio's Sports Star, ESPN, AM 1250 and 94.5 FM.
It's R&R in the morning. Happy Tuesday to you.
Happy Tuesday. Taco Tuesday.
It is indeed Taco Tuesday, celebrated the right way. I hope somebody somewhere is delivering LeBron some tacos today.
I know last time they went to San Antonio famous.
Oh, did they?
They went to it was a Meet Theater.
Oh, there you
go.
It
was all the Lakers. It was the year before the bubble. So 2019, they were all at Meet Theater.
I saw that George Hill had taken a bunch of the Milwaukee Bucks up to his place up north of here.
You saw that? They were all at the ranch. That was cool.
Showing off the hill country views.
Yeah.
And the reason why San Antonio ain't so bad.
They went hunting or what?
I understand his ranch is up I-10. It's in between Bernie and San Antonio out there.
It's cool to say I got to come out to my ranch.
Come out to my ranch.
That's a pretty cool thing to be able to say.
I imagine he's got a few exotics walking the streets, walking around his property.
For sure.
I have an idea where it is. I'm sure we don't We're not going to talk about exactly where it is.
Yeah.
And I know that there's
Yeah,
some
I
things
know
that
you
run
know.
around out there.
No one leaves San Antonio. Like if you come play here and you have some success and you stay here like 4 to 5 years, you keep a house here.
I think that's true for the truest of the Spurs types.
Yeah.
You know, I think that the guys that would want to live here would want to be a Spur. I think it's vice versa. I don't think. I think they would have loved San Antonio if they had never played for the Spurs, just because that's the type of person that would come and play for Pop in the organization. So I do think that there's something to that. You think I'm going to go out on a limb with a Laker game tonight.
Talk to me.
I think the Spurs are going to win this one, even with LeBron.
The Lakers are still figuring themselves out.
That's exactly
They're still like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is going to be Vogel experimenting. I think he's still trying to put some pieces together, and it's a lot easier to do that on the road against San Antonio than it is in front of your home crowd at Staples.
Right. Jakob got his hands full tonight. They got Anthony Davis, DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard. He got some bangers coming in tonight.
And Jakob, to his credit, what's he averaging? 6.5 assists a game?
Yeah.
Now, I was joking after game one about saying, hey, man, Jokic, let's talk about this. If you get toward 8, 9, 10 assists, now we're talking about legit comeback most improved player of the year kind of material for Jakob Poeltl. At 6.5, that offense is moving.
The thing is, most of the time when that big man comes to the top of the key, he's just setting the screen and getting out of the way. What the Spurs have done with him because of his passing abilities, they're actually giving him the ball, still letting him set the screen, and then he makes the decision.
Right.
And he's been making the right decision, 7 times a night.
It's an old school position called the pivot.
Yeah,
It was actually established by the Harlem Globetrotters.
And
Old
really,
Meadow Arc Lemon.
The pivot offense is what everybody grew up playing. The post and the pivot, that's where the ball started. And then the ball came out to somebody else, and maybe it came back in after it was discovered what that defense is. And Poeltl's playing that old school stuff. And this is not new for Pop and the Spurs. Pop's always wanted a passing big man. Always. He's been on the search for that forever. Some have been better than others. Tim was the best he ever had, but you'd rather him shoot than pass.
Yeah, you want a Tim scoring.
And David was never really a post. We told him he was, but
he developed the footwork, but he was really he just was born 30 years early. He could be what Giannis is now, that point forward, if that's what they taught back then. But back then, when you were 7 feet, get in the block.
Get in the block and be a big. Spurs against the Lakers. Let's see if they can even out the series, see if the Lakers can find their way. We got the Astros. Don't forget, Astros and Braves will be live right here on San Antonio Sports Star. We got you pregame going up to first pitch just a little bit after 7:07. Jason Minix will be on from 4 to 6 getting you all ready. In the meantime, Rudy, myself, and Karl, we're going to go look at the tape. We're going to practice hard, and we'll be better tomorrow. Y'all be good. We'll see you then.
Do you have what it takes to rock the mic?
Hey, this is RJ Ochoa.
Hi, this is Carolina Teague.
Hey, Santonio, it's